Ladies and gentlemen, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you are in the world, and whenever you are tuning into this video. My name is James Porcelli,
I'm Brian Thomas.
and welcome to another edition of the Ruthless Talk Podcast. Yes, happy Thursday. Yes, sir. Thank you. It is a beautiful yet very hot summer day here in the Carolinas. And when I say hot, I mean it's it's hot, man. I mean, my freaking Lord, it sucks. It really does suck. But hey, man, it's freaking summer. The heat is cranking up, as well as a lot of pro wrestling that's happening right now, at least in the next couple of weeks as well. We got a plethora of shows, including AEW All In. There's going to be a Saturday night's main event. There is going to be a Great American Bash. There's going to be a women's PLE, WWE Evolution. So a lot's to come, as well as a PLE this coming weekend. We got WWE Night of Champions in Saudi Arabia. As for today's episode, we got Monday Night Raw, which is the go-home show to said Night of Champions for this coming weekend. And of course, if you guys did not check out the last episode, your boy went solo talking SmackDown about John Cena's pipe bomb and everything about SmackDown as a whole. So of course, some King and Queen of the Ring matchups that happened as well. Bunch of other stuff, the R-Truth, the John Cena main event, everything. So if you want to check out that episode, that is on all of our platforms right now. But as far as today's episode is concerned, we are going to dissect Monday Night Raw, which is slowly but surely just becoming an unwatchable money grab at this point now. There's a lot of words, but that's just kind of what the reality is as far as these shows on a week-to-week basis. But before we do get into Monday Night Raw, and it's no secret as far as what is going on in the world right now, especially in the Middle East. To where you got Israel, Iran, the USA is involved as far as a lot of massive conflicts. Long story short, there's a lot of conflict and a lot of stuff going on. And a lot of it, of course, with Iran and Israel, which is very close to Saudi Arabia, which is obviously where WWE production crew talents are going to. And a lot of talents are, let's say, just concerned about this travel and going overseas, and scared to where a lot of the airports in Saudi have been shut down because of these conflicts. So they've had to shut down airports. They've had to shut down travel. So people are also pretty much stuck there as far as that is concerned, as I think travel started just earlier this week. So a lot of, again, production crew, talents. The Saudi government, though, is still approving as far as the show is going to be continuing as it's planned, or as Vince McMahon would say, the show must go on. Of course, if the show were to be canceled, right, or if the show were just, I guess you can say, audibles to be called, obviously, though, we can't have that, Brian, because WWE would be losing out on a lot of money that they could be making. And that's the problem. And that's where I just completely start to lose respect for this company and just what they're about. And I get it. This isn't like the first time that WWE and executives has done this, right? So where you go back to the Owen Hart frickin' incident. So where frickin', that whole incident happened. And, again, the whole legendary
show must go on, right?
Show must go on frickin' line, right? And to where you put the talents to where at the end of the day, listen, we get it, right? To where you signed up a contract, and when these independent contractors sign these types of contracts, it's a one-sided contract, right?
Yes.
These companies can legit have these guys and gals do whatever if, says, or buts. You're going to Saudi Arabia, you're doing this, you're doing
or
that,
you're gone.
And they could be, or you're gone. You were going to release you from your contract. They can do that within seconds, right? It sucks, man, to where, like, WWE, to where you would think that they would have some sort of compassion, right? Some sort of compassion to where, oh shit, there's a lot of fucking conflict and a lot of stuff that's going on in the Middle East and everything with Iran, Israel, and the US is involved, all of that shit. Maybe we should think twice, maybe relocate, maybe reschedule. Nope, the show must go on because we're going to lose millions upon millions of dollars if this show is not up to par the way that we want it to be. And it sucks to where the talent is, you can say to a degree, just concerned for their livelihood or scared for their life. And it's just, it sucks because at the end of the day, like, listen, we can sit up here and we can talk about certain wrestlers and whether we like them or not as fans, right? Or whatever the case may be. But these people are fucking human beings, man. And it sucks to where, yes, some of them are getting paid substantially well, maybe more than others, right? But let's face it, these contracts are so fucking one-sided to where in the snap of a finger, right? Oh, you don't want to go to Saudi, you don't want to do this, do that. Well, guess what? We have the power to just release you from your contract. You're done. No more money for you, no more food that you can
and
put
the
on
power
your
to
family's
blackball
table.
you, which they have done to numerous people.
Absolutely.
Across the board.
100%, man. So it's very just, it's a very unfortunate situation to where, like, clearly this is for any, I guess you can say, compassionate human being outside, of course, the business and the money, right? So we're like, all right, listen, we know what's going on as far as the world is concerned. Like, we got to at least either maybe relocate or reschedule this and cancel this event in its entirety. But the show must go on, man. And according to WWE, according to Triple H, right, and according to all these executive suits and ties, the show must go on. You are going to go to this event. You are going to go overseas. You're going to go over to the Middle East in one way or the other. So, and it's just really, it sucks. And I guess as of right now, as it is now Thursday, the show is going to be Saturday afternoon as far as here in the States is concerned. And it seems like WWE and nobody's budging as far as changing plans anytime soon. So who knows? But Brian, what are your takes, man? Before we get into Raw, what are your takes as far as all these conflicts and as well as the state of this Night of Champions event, as far as everything that's going on? What are your thoughts, man?
You know, I'm really going to try not to get emotional here, really, because, you know, as much as I say and have said, you know, what professional wrestling, you know, in many ways mirrors real life. And in many ways, like, I've been this person since I was 12, 13 years old, man, and I'm 45. And I've just, for me, I've never just bought into this status quo bullshit. Like, ask the deeper question, man. Like, bro, we are at war. These are military powers with missiles and bombs. And what? TKO. Oh, your TKO security is going to handle it. Okay. What the fuck are we talking about? And you said it, man. Like, yes, you know, we had discussed the Punk promo and his comments back in the day. Which, yeah, I think and you nailed it on the head, man. The contracts and right. What are people supposed to do? I think he does feel that way, and I wish he wouldn't go. But here we are, right? And sure, as much as Punk might get paid, or Cena, or whoever, they're making pennies on the dollar to Triple H and Nick Khan and Stephanie McMahon and TKO. So fuck all of you, man. Like, Jesus Christ, pull your collective head out of your goddamn ass, man. Like, yeah, they can postpone this show. They cannot have the show. And oh my God, they're going to lose however many billions of dollars because you put yourself in that position because you want the goddamn money. And that's all it's ever been about, the fucking money. Well, yeah, I hope all these wrestlers and the production crew and the writers and the staff and the security, I hope all of them are safe. But TKO ain't going to protect them. Get the fuck out of here. No. Triple H ain't going to protect them.
No.
God damn it, man. Fuck all you. End of story.
It really is a shitty situation. And to fact that, like you said, Brian, to where, yeah, like these wrestlers can't do a fucking damn thing about it. And for people to literally argue and say, well, they had a choice to sign the contract. Dude, shut the fuck up.
Right.
Like,
choice to really okay, and some of them might be okay. Like Punk, yeah, okay. You can take it. You're going to be okay. The fucking Dakota Kai, probably not.
No.
You know?
Right. Freaking a Karrion Cross, probably not. Freaking who else? I
Yeah.
mean, we can go down the line of wrestlers as far as that is concerned, right? So yeah, it's just like, sure, it's like, oh, we can be the good simpleton, right? No, Brian, you've made this freaking you've made this line before, put on your bootstraps, be the good simpleton, right? And do what you're told, right? But
Yeah.
now we're at a point to where you are putting people, let's just say, at risk to
Their
put them in such
lives,
a
I don't give a
dangerous
shit what you
conflict
say. Their
situation.
lives are on the line. If they
Yeah.
go over there in that moment, all of them, their lives are on the line, period.
Absolutely. And it's just, but man, like I said, but there's money to be made, unfortunately, when it
Yeah.
comes to the lens of what a lot of these executive businesses and corporate entities, right? And it's not even just WWE, right? This is from so many
No,
people
nope.
across America and so many other corporate entities across the world, like, to where they go for the
Profit.
bottom dollar.
As long as we make profit, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
And it's just, I don't know, at least for just WWE executives and even for TKO, because I'm not going to blame. So if people want to just solely blame on TKO, guys, it's everybody involved, right?
Yeah,
I'm talking Triple
right.
H.
Yep.
I'm talking Nick Khan. I'm talking everybody as far as WWE.
Vince McMahon, Vince McMahon started this business partnership,
yeah,
right,
absolutely.
with the Saudis. Yeah.
This is the same company that when Vince McMahon was in charge, right? To where, again, we talked about the Owen Hart freaking incident, to where this dude legit freaking died in the middle of the center of a wrestling ring, and you still expected human beings, right? Not just outside of their characters and everything as far as pro wrestling and the show itself. Right? These are fucking human beings. And I think there was even a documentary about this, to where people in the moment, to where, like, they are so freaking just shook as far as, and again, not how they just solely felt about Owen Hart and how
But
he
that's
was
a
in that
big part
locker
of it,
room.
because it was Owen Hart and who Owen Hart
Part of it,
was
yeah,
and what he
yes.
meant to that locker room.
Right.
Like how important he was, man.
No,
Yeah.
absolutely. But also to witness it, and you're 100% right, and to also witness something so tragic in live time, and you just expect your talent to just flip a switch and just go about the show in its entirety.
Right.
And I remember there was, again, clips of backstage segments like shortly after that whole incident happened. You can see the concern, like they can't even hide it, to where they're trying to put a mask over their face, right, and just go about the show as usual. And it's just like how can you, right? And it's just like, how can you, as far as put on a blank expressional face and go over to the Middle East, over into a situation to where there is massive conflicts right now, and say, oh yeah, cool, let's just
we'll put on a wrestling show.
Let's put on a wrestling show like nothing else is going on. It's just like, it's so stupid.
It's tone deaf. It's tone deaf. It's irresponsible. It's dangerous.
Irresponsible. Absolutely. If there's one word I can say, it's very, like you said, dangerous. But the most important thing, man, it's so fucking irresponsible. To where, like, it's just anything for the bottom fucking dollar. Just losing the fear of losing several millions of dollars because one show out of an entire calendar year may not go onto the air as we planned it to be, and now we're going to potentially lose millions of dollars, but we'll put massive amount of our talent, lives at stake, going over. And if you don't do that, guess what? You're going to switch Saudi. Oh, you don't want to go over there? Too freaking bad. Pack your bags.
You're never going to be on TV again, right? We'll cut your airtime until we release you.
No matter what the circumstances are, doesn't matter. You signed a contract. This is what you signed up for, right? Freaking pack your bags. You're going no matter what the circumstances is. And it's a shame, man. And this is why, Brian, so where, we, at least as far as like the wrestling shows is concerned, right? To where, like, I speak so passionately about these wrestlers, as well as you, as well as many other content creators, about, their booking, right? And so where, like, these guys and gals, and listen, we get it, everybody can't be given the world title spotlight. Everybody can't be getting the same type of world championship treatment, main event treatment. We understand that. But, like, we all collectively want to see people thrive in this business. And it sucks to where, like, yes, guys, we get it. They sign a contract. They make however substantial amount of money within that contract, but it is a one-sided fucking contract. They don't give a shit because there's no fucking support. They're independent contractors.
They ain't got insurance because they got to pay for that shit.
Fucking exactly, man. They don't owe them shit. And it's vice versa between both parties. And that's just what is the most unfortunate situation. But now, Brian, we're going overboard to where we're kind of just, dare I say, just crossing a fucking line to where there is a global conflict going on and you're putting people's lives at danger. It's like, when does the line cross? When do we completely just say, enough is enough?
I don't think we, and again, globally, there's been, we aren't turning back. We are steamrolling forward. And we all know, I think, know where that ends. I mean, fucking, it's just like, what, you don't want to say it out loud? I don't know what we're pretending here.
Yeah.
I'll end with this, though, because you and I have talked about this, too. Like, WWE, it very realistically can be a Saudi Arabia product in the very near future. And at this point, fucking take it. Because this is garbage.
Yeah.
Fuck Saudi, you can have it, man. Go ahead, buy it, have it over there, and do what you want with it. Because this is bullshit.
Yeah. And who the fuck knows how that product will be, and then this product will be, if that is the case. To where I truly feel, Brian, to where, and again, I know you feel the same way. It's like they are TKO and WWE is setting themselves up to be to sell or to be sold to Saudi. Right. And who knows if this has any relations as well with TNA because of the buyout with TNA and the relationship with TNA, to where I do feel like Vince McMahon, one way or the other, is going to be back. And who knows if he has any recollection or has any, I guess you can say, part as far as that situation is concerned with Saudi. Yeah, man, it's really just, it's a shitty situation, man. It really is. And that's all I can really say. So, I mean, again, there was a ceasefire, there were talks, and now that ceasefire was pretty much just freaking thrown out the window after several, freaking hours. And like, well, so much for that. So who the fuck knows of where this goes and these conflicts go.
Honestly, I really hope, again, even if it's like a Triple H and a Nick Khan going over there for the fucking money, like, I hope you guys are fucking safe, man. Like, you know, Jesus Christ, dude. I'm sure Nick Khan will. I'm sure he has top-notch A1 fucking retired military personal security. Guess what? Them wrestlers don't.
Them wrestlers don't. No, exactly. So we'll see. Again, we will be talking Night of Champions. The show, again, as of right now, is still planned in its original time slot and its original location. So, and I don't see WWE or Saudi Arabia budging, as again, even the Saudi government is. Oh,
they won't. Saudi government, you think they're going to bend their knee to? Absolutely fucking not. No.
So nobody's budging. So this show is most likely going to go as planned as far as, you know, the location and everything as a whole. So we'll see. Again, all we can do, man, is just, you know, hopefully everybody gets in and out very safely. And, you know, and it's just, and hopefully as far as all these conflicts,
and not even that, like, again, it's one of those things, man, like, again, the irresponsibility of it. Like, I don't give a shit how much security you say you have. You are putting on a multi-million-dollar production that cost you billions into where you are asking thousands of people to show up in one fucking place. You are goddamn sitting ducks. For fuck's sake, man.
Yeah, they're stuck. It's stuck there. They can't really, especially again with the airports being shut down. It's hard to travel in and out there. They're stuck there, bro. It's like it's really an unfortunate.
It's just situation. Irresponsible shit for the profit of it.
Yeah, exactly, man. It's irresponsible. It's every which way you can aim as far as this situation.
Sorry, like goddamn.
Yeah. So anyway, let's move on, Len. Man, as there was a show in Columbus, Ohio, Monday Night Raw from this past this past Monday. Again, this is the go-home show to Night of Champions. Seth Rollins comes out with his cronies and Paul Heyman and this briefcase. The first couple minutes was actually pretty decent, to where he's like, hey, what he talks to the fans, like, what do you want?
Mm-hmm.
It's like 1 minute, you're barking, 1 minute you're chanting OTC, 1 minute you chant for CM Punk. You guys are idiots, you don't know what you want. That part I liked, right? I thought that was kind of funny, because it's true.
It's true.
It's very, very true. But once that was over with, men, for 10 plus minutes, Seth Rollins says a bunch of whole lot of nothing, to where he goes on to talk about how he's Roman Reigns is relevant because of him, and talking about Cody Rhodes, and talking about the briefcase that Paul Heyman holds. Like, this is the end game. This is, where all the power is, right? Because I hold all of it. Everybody's just going to be coming in second place, right, to me, which is Seth frickin' Rollins. Again, just a whole bunch of really nothing, just a bunch of word salad. I don't know, Brian, you ever watch Charlie Brown and hear the
wah, wah, wah. Oh, fuck yeah.
That was Seth Rollins for 10 minutes. And that's pretty much it. So where then Penta comes out, and we have a matchup with Braun Breaker versus Penta. And Penta loses straight up clean. It was a cool, I guess a decent finish with Braun Breaker's spear, to where Penta springboards off the second rope, and he eats a spear in midair, and Braun Breaker picks up the W. Seth walks over to Penta. It's like, gives him a warning, stay out of our way. And just, that's it, guys. And that was what, Brian, maybe the first half hour of the show.
About that.
And what happened? It's just Seth Rollins goes out and says nothing for 10 minutes. Okay, he bashes the crowd for maybe, 2 of those 12 minutes to start the show. And then Braun Breaker wins. Okay, great. Braun Breaker and this faction should be looking dominant. That's great.
Sure.
But for Penta to just lose straight up, this is the problem about the timing and how you nobody in this company, Brian, wants to think about, okay, we got to book Braun Breaker dominant because he's in this new faction. And but what is this also doing for Penta, who, let's face it, is still brand new? He just got here not too long ago.
And you wanted to make a big deal, right? The presentation, the vignettes before he got there.
Yeah.
What the fuck have we done?
And he loses straight up, and he's lost straight up clean to Braun Breaker. It's just, I don't understand the match. I don't understand the start of the show. And I'll even take it a step further, bro. And to where, listen, this faction can be good. I'm not saying it can't be. Paul Heyman feels so out of place, to where I don't know what we're doing with Heyman. And I've said this for weeks, to where Seth Rollins is doing all the talking. He doesn't even need Heyman. It's not like Heyman's even out there cutting a said promo for a Braun Breaker or a Bronson Reed anyway. He's just a placeholder for that briefcase.
Yeah.
Seth Rollins says a bunch of word salad. Braun Breaker is barking like a dog, like a fucking idiot. Bronson Reed's looking like a bouncer at a fucking at a nightclub. Like, what are we? I don't understand what we're doing. And yes, we like all of these individuals involved, but guys, it has so far been underwhelming and just flat out boring. This is just very fucking odd. It's very odd. So I don't know what you got, Brian. What are your takes as far as the start of the show, both the matchup and Seth's promo? What are your thoughts?
Yeah. So again, I mean, this whole faction with, like, you have Rollins, and if Rollins is going to be the leader of the faction, Rollins can talk. He's good on the mic. Like, Paul Heyman is unnecessary in that. So yeah, I don't know what they're doing with that. And again, you when did the Shield break up, James? What do you have the date off the top of your head? Was it 2017?
June 2nd, 2014 was 14. Yeah, because they debuted in 2012 at Survivor Series, when I think it was when Punk was the champion, was the world champion at Survivor Series. I think that was a match against Ryback, by the way. And the Shield debuted at Survivor Series in 2012. And then the whole, Plan B storyline with the Authority and the whole Shield turn, that was 2014.
So 2014, right? And Rollins turns on the Shield, Roman, right? 11 years ago. 11 fucking years ago. What is Rollins talking about still? back then, he made Roman Reigns. He made the Shield. He was the architect. Roman Reigns is relevant because of him 11 years ago.
Right.
And it's still here.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro.
So
exactly.
Yeah, there's that aspect of it. Like I said, all of them. I mean, Bronson Reed, Braun Breaker, Seth Rollins, Paul Heyman, individually. Yeah, there's positives, and all of them can be great in different forms or whatever. But this right now, Heyman's not needed unless you're gonna have him out there primarily with Braun and Bronson, which so far he's really not.
He's not. No.
It's what the fuck.
I don't. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and then the match, yeah. I mean, you're right. You got to build up Braun because he's in what's supposed to be the most dominant faction on that brand, and he is a future superstar. But on the flip side of that, it's Penta, who, again, it was WWE, right? You presented it in a big. This is important. Penta's coming to WWE and his debut, and you started this thing with Chad Gable. That's what the fuck?
That's gone nowhere.
and here we are. And okay, that's what me and James are talking about, man. Like this shit, it's nonsensical. It's all over the place. It's starting and stopping. Never. I mean, shit. Is the Bloodline story even really over? God damn.
Who the fuck knows? And again, man, this is what I meant about Seth Rollins winning this briefcase. Because, like, I knew what they were going to do. It was going to be word salad promos, right? Seth Rollins, like, I got the power. This is the end game, right? You know, Roman Reigns is relevant because of me. CM Punk is relevant because of me, or whatever the case is. So the word salad that is spewing out of his mouth. And when I say, guys, like, word salad, and when I say boring, I don't mean that Seth Rollins actually cut a bad promo. I thought the promo was fine. But the problem is that there's no substance anymore.
Right. You're not extending any story. You're not right. It's not evolving anything.
It's not fun. It's boring. It's just flat out fucking boring. And the fact that this faction has no name, right? There's really no identity of this faction. We have yet to have a fucking name. Seth Rollins, right?
The Rollins gang.
I can't even call the Rollins guy. I can't even call Seth Rollins a true diabolical heel. You know why? Because he still comes out to this fucking song, and everybody sings
and the crowd sings along,
right? Which is why, to a degree, I like the first 2 minutes or a minute and a half of the promo. But then after that, it was a bunch of word salad. I didn't give a shit. It was just, again, Charlie Brown, wah 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 wah. Nothing. One ear out the other. Nothing. And this is the start of your show. But, we didn't want to put the briefcase on LA Knight to where it could have been fun. It could have been entertaining. The pop he could have gotten when he actually would have cashed in that briefcase. Now, let's give it to Seth Rollins to where we already done the heist of the century with him. We've already done, and again, we already know to a degree why, Brian, he has this briefcase. The accolades, right? When Seth Rollins is going to be in that WWE Hall of Fame in the next couple of years, guess what? You're going to go back and, hey, guess what? Remember when he won the briefcase, the Money in the Bank briefcase?
The championships and the King of the Ring and the Royal Rumble winner.
Right. The freaking winning the world championship at the Night of Championship. Like that's all they're doing, man. There's no long-term end game. Right, they want to mention an end game with the briefcase that Seth Rollins had, but there's no real fucking end game, guys. Stop. And now LA Knight is going to be meshed into this. They're going to make a storyline with LA Knight involved and maybe some other people involved. So what are we going to do, guys? Are we going to have singles matches? Are we going to have LA Knight versus Seth Rollins? Is LA Knight going to beat Seth Rollins while Seth is going to be holding on to that briefcase? And what is that once again going to do for LA Knight? Guys,
all three of them, whether it's Seth, Braun, or Bronson, LA Knight is not winning those feuds.
No.
He's not.
Absolutely not. Yeah. And people will spew bullshit to where he's still in top segments. He's still in the main event segments. But bro, they're not evolving anything. His booking is still flatlined because they're not progressing any storyline. He would have been progressed. LA Knight's booking would have been progressed holding on to that briefcase, because even with LA Knight's shitty booking and the fact that this company has digged him in such a massive hole for 2 fucking years, even then you still hear the eruption when LA Knight comes out. And it's just like, what is it going to take? And I said this on the SmackDown review. What the fuck is it going to take for you to just give him a piece of the rocket, piece or even half of it, to where you're not even meeting
Right.
LA Knight halfway? And it's just, you wanted to push guys like Damian Priest to the world title. Again, much love to Damian Priest, but guess what? That fell flat on its face because he's back in the fucking mid-card.
It did.
Solo Sikoa, to where even with Solo Sikoa, who I thought has done a really good job over the last several weeks and months, but guess what? His fucking
after
stock
Cena,
after the Cena victory, his stock went the fuck down, and nobody gives a shit about Solo. That's just the truth. So I'll speak more, of course, on that later on, but that's the start of the show. As far as Seth and his word salad, Braun Breaker wins a match. Okay, cool. I don't know what it does for Penta. More on Penta in a segment later on. We'll get to that. But next, Adam Pearce is backstage with AJ Styles, telling that Dominic is injured and the Night of Champions matchup for the IC title is officially off. And Adam Pearce, like, listen, once Dominic is healthy, you'll be right back in that championship picture when he gets back. And AJ's just like, okay, and just waltzes off. Then the New Day comes in. Adam Pearce makes a befuddling match with Judgment Day and the New Day, two fucking heel teams, for the title next week on Raw. And guys, that's once again, bro, like, it is, Brian, it's getting to the point where this show, right? Forget like the sponsorships, forget like the product placement that this company is continuing to fucking do, but nothing, guys, is making sense, or nothing is evolving to where you just have Styles or is in freaking Adam Pearce's locker or in his office, and he's like, telling him, like, oh, hey, Dominic's hurt. And if it is, I don't think it's anything severe, but it probably isn't, honestly. I mean, who the hell knows? We'll need to know more. But
it's Saudi. That's why I guarantee you, maybe he has some minor injury. I don't know. He could.
Right.
But one or both of these individuals, I just are not going to Saudi, and that's it. That's why they're not having the match.
Right. And the thing is, though, so clearly you need to call an audible. So your audible is just to tell AJ Styles and say, oh, once Dominic is cleared, you'll be right back for that title spot.
Right.
And then AJ Styles is like, okay, and walks off. Guys, you don't see AJ Styles after that. Dominic plays his heel shtick to where the crowd is booing him, even though like the crowds, it's not amplified enough for Dominic to stop talking. It's so fucking, dare I say, I'm sorry now, forced at this point, to where let's face it, Dominic is a tweener right now. That's just what he is.
Yeah,
he's
100%.
legit a tweener.
Yep.
This is the problem with this company. We don't book faces, we don't book heels, we book tweeners, right? That's just that's just the truth of it. Like, you would think, like, okay, even if Dominic was legit hurt, right? Let's just say that hypothetically, right? That's your audible. Like, you don't want to evolve nothing. You don't want to get any more creative than
that's why I say I'm not buying it, because this match has still been promoted. This is the match. And what, 5 days prior to the match? I think this is bullshit.
I'm sure of it. It's. And who knows if, like, let's say if there is an injury, but it's not severe enough to where Dominic is still cleared by doctors to compete. And maybe, again, there was conversations about the fact that it is Saudi Arabia and Dominic doesn't want to go to Saudi, and there's other collective talent that doesn't want to go to Saudi, or even AJ.
I don't know what AJ's, but
who knows?
If anybody, right? I mean, AJ would have the pull, I guess, between the two of them to say, yeah, fuck that, I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I'm just saying.
And who knows? Again, all of it is a very fair statement of what potentially could be happening here. But outside of that, right? With that sort of, I guess you could say, argument, it doesn't really matter, because clearly you still have to call an audible. But your audible is just for AJ Styles, is just to sit there and like, okay, I'm going to get my rematch. Thanks, boss. And just
next Monday night, I guarantee you this match, within 2 weeks after Saudi,
it'll be on Monday Night Raw.
Right? Yeah, exactly.
Like Dominic, again, he had an interview with Jackie Redmond later on the show to talk about Liv and everything, but was booed and didn't really get much words. So again, bro, we're forcing that whole persona to where You think that we're fucking dumb to where we weren't, or a majority of wrestling fans weren't cheering this fucking dude at WrestleMania when he won that damn title?
Bro,
like, what are we
that was
doing?
the biggest problem. I'd have to go back, but arguably the biggest pop of the entire WrestleMania.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's so fucking odd.
Yeah.
Let's move on, man. Oh, it gets even better. A sit-down interview with Goldberg. Goldberg in a sit-down interview.
I've been waiting for this.
I'm sure, honestly, this was a safe route because I truly believe that WWE is concerned about the reaction that Goldberg is going to potentially get. So they're going to play the safe route.
Well, I don't think so in Georgia, because remember, this is going to be on Saturday night's main event, right?
Yeah,
in Georgia. Yeah.
At least outside of the show in Georgia, right? Leading up into it, I think WWE is concerned to put this dude in a live audience of outside of Atlanta, Georgia, where he goes, to where they don't want maybe a mixed reaction, to where maybe Gunther comes off more as the face, and Goldberg is the one that's more, I guess, we're not against the crowd, but the crowd is against Goldberg. So they went the safe route and they did this via satellite, not via satellite, but just sit down interview outside of the arena, wherever they were at, with Michael Cole and Bill Goldberg. So Goldberg just goes on to talk about how Gunther disrespected Goldberg from that Atlanta show, Bad Blood, a couple months ago. And it's like, he embarrassed me in front of my wife, he embarrassed me in front of my son, right? Like, the level of disrespect was unbelievable. So now I gotta, teach him a lesson. I'm gonna beat the fuck out of Goldberg. They blurred out the word "fuck," of course. So in that whole scenario, right? So Goldberg goes on for a couple minutes, and that's not even the problem, right? So whatever, you want to do that little sit down interview, right? That fine, whatever. But it's what Michael Cole said afterwards, right? So where he's talking with Corey Graves. By the way, Corey Graves is on commentary because Pat McAfee is freaking.
Shout out, Corey.
Shout out to Corey Graves. It's unfortunate though, Brian, to where like Pat McAfee has to request some time off in order for Corey Graves to get this fucking opportunity. It's like,
Corey Graves should have always been sitting in that seat. Period. As far as who was available, it should have been Corey Graves.
I 100% agree. Absolutely. So Michael Cole, guys, I can't fucking make this up. Michael Cole talks with Corey Graves, and he says, "You know what? I spoke with Goldberg once the interview was over, and I asked him, and I said, he's like, is this legit your final match? Is this it?" And Goldberg says, "Absolutely it is." The quote was, Goldberg told Michael Cole after Michael Cole says, "Oh, hey, like, what if you win the championship, though?" And he's like, "Well, that's an interesting dilemma, isn't it?" The fuck? What is it's your retirement match. You blatantly just said this is it. Like, this is your retirement match. But now when there's a title on the line, which I don't fucking know why there's a title on the line. It makes no sense with Roman Reigns. It made no sense with Bray Wyatt. It made no sense with Brock Lesnar the other two times. One of them I don't think was for a title. The other one was. It's just, you top that, and Goldberg blatantly saying, or from Michael Cole's words, blatantly saying, "Yeah, this is my final match. I'm done." And then Michael goes, there's a title on the line. And like, I guess that makes an interesting dilemma now, does it? So you're not retiring? Is this a retirement? Like, guys, what the fuck are we doing?
Yeah.
Like, this is so fucking weird, to where I don't know if WWE rethinks of how stupid or how weird this comes across, at least to a lot of us, to where, like, I don't really truly think, Brian, to where they probably skim through the show and just say, "Oh yeah, Goldberg do this and then that," and Michael Cole will say some additional notes from after the interview. I don't even think don't believe, Brian, that they read over or they rationally think what they're putting on paper. I truly don't. So where they just don't give a fuck at this point. Like, so you're retiring, but if you win the championship, I guess it's an interesting dilemma. Now I'm not going to retire. What the fuck, man? Brian, just help me. Anything as far as this
I'm going to break down this fucking promo and Bill Goldberg, his entire fucking gimmick for 30 years, and the gimmick that is him to a large degree. And at this point, like, Goldberg is one of those people, right, who, his gimmick, right, to a large degree is just him, right? It's just him. So do you have what was because I meant to write it down. What was Goldberg's first? Michael Cole asked a question, and what was Goldberg's first like 2 lines? And do you have that written down?
Goldberg says to where, about the, Gunther disrespecting his family and that. So Gunther, so this was the notes that I have, right? To where Gunther says that he was not going to let that slide and he was going to get his revenge. He doesn't
yeah, you
care.
can stop right there. Yeah. All right. So Goldberg as the wrestler, as the gimmick for 30 years, right? What he's been, and in this promo, and that interaction back at whenever it was when he was in the crowd, right? This whole fucking story. Man, it's like if when I talk about wrestling mirroring real life, and like, yes, this is a crafted story with gimmicks and whatever. Extrapolate that out into the real world, right? And here you have Gunther, who is in the prime of his career, popular wrestler, right? World champion, wrestling a match. And fucking Goldberg, insert any dude, right? 25 years past his prime, in which he never was that great, is out in the crowd and right gets insulted, right? His ego was hurt. He was embarrassed by his, in front of his. That's the story, right?
Right.
This almost 60-year-old man was embarrassed and his fragile ego was hurt in front of his family. That's the story. Yeah. You break all the bullshit away. That's the story.
That's the story. Yeah.
And so now we're here, right? In which the reality is, again, we talk about a guy like Goldberg, who is at the end of the day, his gimmick 100%, and him as a human being to a large degree, is your stereotypical just jacked athlete with not much going on in between the ears. Honestly, he's not a good in-ring performer. He's not. If you want to talk about good, the icons, professional wrestlers, he does not belong in that discussion and never did. But here we are, right? Because this is a manufactured sport where, yes, WCW saw money and pushed him. And then he came over to WWE and Vince saw money and pushed him. And what are his promos? For 30 years, what are his promos? Kevin Nash, you're next. Hulk Hogan, you're next. That's his promos for 30 fucking years. His matches, 3 moves. How many matches has he had that's gone more than 10 minutes in his career? He's not good.
A whole lot, no.
He's not good. He's manufactured. And the part that is so fucking irritating to me is it's so easy for me to see that is the gimmick. That is the story. And based on that, these tropes of don't tread on me, right? Bill, you're a 58-year-old man. Again, in real life story here. You're a 58-year-old man. Gunther's what, 20, 25 years younger in the prime of his career, and he ain't no punk. Meanwhile, you're a guy who literally can't run.
No.
You've only ever had 3 moves.
He's got a busted knee and a busted shoulder.
Busted knee, busted shoulder. And what? What are you trying to prove? You're trying to prove you're still relevant. People still care. Goddamn, how dare you disrespect me and hurt my fragile feelings. That's what the fuck this story is, people. Oh, fuck.
I mean, bro, I can take you back to 2017. This was all of Goldberg's matches. This started in 2017 against Kevin Owens. The matchup was 22 seconds, and he beat Kevin Owens. That was for the Universal Championship. The next match was against Brock Lesnar, to where he lost. The matchup was under 5 minutes. We go to the Undertaker matchup. That was 8 minutes. The fucking disaster, to where I thought freaking Undertaker was going to get freaking paralyzed in that ring. That was the Saudi match. I believe was it Super Showdown in 2019. We then go to SummerSlam of 2019 against Dolph Ziggler. That was a squash match in under 2 minutes. That was a 2-minute matchup. We go to Bray Wyatt, the Fiend matchup. I can't fucking stand this matchup. The Fiend loses his title in 2 minutes and 59 seconds, right under the 3-minute mark. That was at Super Showdown in 2020. Then Braun Strowman versus Bill Goldberg, 2-minute matchup. Frickin' was Strowman defeated Bill Goldberg in 2 minutes. Drew McIntyre against Goldberg. Match was 2 minutes and 30 seconds, 2.5 minutes. We go to Bobby Lashley. Now, this match against Bobby Lashley was a 7-minute match. It was 7 minutes and 10 seconds in total. We go to the no holds barred match with Bobby Lashley. This was the second matchup. That was 11 minutes and 25 seconds. And then his last matchup, you have to go back to Roman Reigns at Elimination Chamber, to where Roman Reigns defeated Goldberg in 6 minutes. So the longest matchup that Goldberg
11 minutes
was 11 minutes, and that was a false count anywhere, to where you could have just did some punches and some kicks and stalled for 5 fucking minutes.
Look,
but outside of that, it's been 3 minutes or under, or 5 minutes or under.
So really, wrestling audience, wrestling universe, like that goes back what, a fucking decade? Like, and you add all those up, that can't be more than 90 minutes, probably, maybe thereabouts. So in a fucking decade or thereabouts, this man has wrestled 90 minutes or less and made fucking millions on that, on Your Next and 3 fucking moves. Meanwhile, right, TKO, Triple H, Ron Killings, right? We can't afford him. Guy, are you fucking paying attention? Mm-hmm. Seriously, a decade. The guy has not even wrestled 90 minutes worth of fucking matches. And I guarantee, you take any outside of maybe, yes, the CM Punks or John Cena's, he has made more money than any WWE superstar that you are going to see on your TV right now, probably. And I take that all, I'm going to tie it into here, and I'm sorry I'm going long. Mm-hmm. Asuka. You take Asuka out, first of all, Bill Goldberg is 100% manufactured, and you're a shitty wrestler and kind of a shitty human being. Asuka, that shit's organic. She's fucking original. She has a presence. She can go in that ring, and whether you understand the language or not, her fucking promos are better than you, Bill Goldberg. And outside of Asuka, right? What, you might know this. Isn't she like I'm not in the gamer community, but isn't she like a gamer, right? Something like that.
Yeah, she's like a gamer or something, along with like Selena Vega and other, So.
Right. So she's got that whole ass other audience too, right? That again, we want to talk about, because right, it's merchant. Well, Bill Goldberg sold more merchandise. Okay, sure. Because you don't tap in to Asuka. And what she could, there's a whole other audience out there that she has that is unrelated to wrestling that you don't tap into because you don't care. And meanwhile, we're just going to present Goldberg. Fuck all that, man.
Yeah, it's she has a YouTube channel that she does both gaming and like lifestyle content. I think she promotes like the stuff that
the
she
makeup,
does with makeup
and shit,
and shit like that. So shout out to Asuka. We'll get into Asuka
Absolutely,
man. Yeah, man. I mean, look, this is what we're doing, man. We're gonna play off of the you disrespected me at Bad Blood, so now I gotta return the favor. So Brian, what do you think, man? I gotta throw out this question. Over under 5 minutes in this match between Goldberg and Gunther. What do you think? If you had to bet as far as the length of the match.
Well, especially with his under.
Probably under, yeah.
I think, maybe, again, it's like one of those things where, like, Goldberg, again, the idiot fucking imbecile mentality he has. Like, it's written all over him, dude. Like, your shoulder's busted. Your knee's busted. You should not be in the ring. No. But you're going to go out there and push it. And, like, because what the fuck? Who are you trying to prove anything to, dude? What the fuck is this?
We'll pay a nearly 60-plus-year-old Goldberg who has a busted shoulder and a busted knee, but We'll make budget cuts for people like frickin' Dakota, and we'll make budget cuts for frickin'
so definitely under
for other
5 or 5 max. That's probably the limit. 5.
I'll be
5
shocked.
minutes.
I'll be shocked if this match should go. And because of these circumstances, because of Goldberg's training and the fact that he's hurt, I don't mean, if this goes over 5 minutes, I don't even know how that makes Gunther look at this point.
Right.
This
none
match
of it is
won't
fucking
benefit him though. Even if it was under 5 minutes, I should say, it's still not going to benefit him. Now I'll get to Goldberg in a promo, because he did cut a promo later on in the show. It's just
Gunther, you mean? That Gunther fucking promo was badass.
And I'll get to his promo later on. So so again, man, the sit down, okay, cool. Like, if you want to do some storytelling to a degree, right, to where you want to do some sit down interviews, you want to make it serious, you want to change it, okay, cool. Like, outside of with Goldberg in the situation, if that's what you want, okay, fine. But then you have Michael Cole say is this your final matchup? Yeah, 100%. But what if you win the title? Oh, well, that's an interesting dilemma now. How isn't it, huh? The fuck are
Not
we
really,
doing?
Bill. Not really, Bill Goldberg. Go home. Go home.
So I don't know, man. It's so fucking weird. It's so weird. It's your retirement match. Now it might not be a retirement match, but if I win the title, I don't know why Goldberg, a 58-plus-year-old Goldberg, is going after a title.
He was disrespected because he was disrespected and his feelings were hurt.
Anyway, moving on. So Judgment Day had a backstage segment. Finn's trying to pump up Raquel Rodriguez, trying to get underneath her skin. See, that's the Raquel I want. You go out there, call out Rhea Ripley, which we'll get to later on in just a second too. Roxanne Perez, who was in I guess you could say the clubhouse. I don't know how much of a clubhouse it is anymore, but Roxanne Perez was in a match with Jade Cargill. So also fun fact, Jade Cargill, these two, to where Jade Cargill first started in the PC, her first wrestling match in the PC was with Roxanne Perez. So
nice.
She was trained to a degree by Roxanne. So I thought that was a pretty cool little fun fact there. So Jade Cargill and Roxanne, so they played the cat and mouse game for a little bit. And of course, as we all expected, Jade won this match. Here's what I have to say though about this match. It's not even really the match itself, but it's Jessica Carr. Listen, I really like Jessica Carr. I actually think she's a really good referee. I think she's one of the best in this company right now. But guys, so Jade goes for her jaded glam slam finisher, right? And this is what I'm talking about this company and telling referees and telling people to we've seen it to where they've had to tell referees to blatantly just stop their count. If they don't kick out, just stop counting. Guys, so Jade Cargill hits her finisher. She turns her over to cover her. Jade's foot is underneath Roxanne's shoulder. So before Jessica makes the count, I'm not making this up. She's legit pushing the shoulder off of Jade's foot to make the fucking count. Guys,
I missed it. I missed it. Yeah, I didn't see it.
Bro, if people go back and watch it, she blatantly, they're not even trying to hide it, to where she blatantly pushes Jade's foot off of Roxanne's shoulder to make the cover. Can you be any oh my God. And people will ask me Jason, what's the problem? Guys, it looks fucking horrible. You clearly push her off of the shoulder, off of Jade's foot, because clearly, that's the finish of the match. So we got to get the shoulder down. 1, 2, 3. What, bro, the audible that you would call, Brian, to where I know you've seen this a lot of times.
I was good. Yep.
An audible that you would call to where, listen, if Jade's foot is underneath Roxanne's shoulder, right, to where you would have the referee say, oh, I can't make the count. Your shoulders are not down, right? You see referees do that. Really good referees will do that. Not saying Jessica Carr's not a good referee, but referees will point that out. Hey, oh, I can't count. Your shoulders are not down. And then the talent will be okay, they'll readjust themselves and then they'll make the count. That's believable. Guys, I can't believe that a referee is blatantly helping Jade Cargill pin Roxanne Perez, right? We could talk about like people say like, oh, if the show was good or not, and if the booking and all this stuff, guys, like this shit is blatantly unacceptable to where it comes across
I can't believe I missed it too. Yeah,
it was so fucking bad. It's
Yeah.
so fucking bad. Bro, this is not a one-time thing. So we're like, oh, Jace, what's the big deal, right? It was a one little mistake. No, bro. No. This has happened.
We've seen like stopping the counts or like intentionally slowing down the counts. Yeah.
Dude, it's the weirdest fucking thing. And listen, I've said this about Vince McMahon to where, look, say what you want about Vince McMahon the last 10 years. Yeah, he was fucking bad. But you know what he did as a head booker? He protected the business to where situations like this, to where, bro, if you did not kick out, if you missed your spot, count to 3.
We'll figure it out afterwards.
That's just what you do, bro. You don't blatantly pull back, like legit, we're pulling back the curtain, right? To where it's like if you were to go to a play and it's like if you were to blatantly, like the director that's like directing the play, verbally call out to where the entire audience is hearing, hey, move this way or say this. That's what it is.
Yes.
Like it, bro. Yes. Like you're live in living color in this matchup. Like you can't just have your wrist. I'm not going to blame solely on Jessica Carr.
No,
in her earpiece, this is what she's being told to do, right? Oh, hey, like get the foot off of Roxanne's shoulder. Get Jade's foot off of Roxanne's shoulder to make the count because this is the end of the matchup, right? Like,
right.
Can you call a better fucking audible to where, like, guys, like this is at the end of the day, this is a choreographed, predetermined matchup. You got to tell a story. You got to protect those wrestlers and everybody that's involved. Doing shit like this, audibles like this, is what ruins the fucking product, the believability, and what comes across to a lot of people. Oh, shit. Well, that wasn't supposed to happen. That was pretty fucking weird. You think? Because, like, I've seen I don't think I've seen tag teams help each other out the way freaking a referee
right.
Jade Cargill win this match. Because what if Roxanne Perez, as a heel, right, could have used Jade's foot and could have, you could have audibled and had her use that to advantage as a heel, right? To where you could have kicked out, maybe used Jade's foot, maybe you could have played a story to where maybe Jade was maybe slightly injured in the matchup or like something, guys, something. There were any type of audible that you could have called if Roxanne Perez's shoulder was not down. You got to call a better audible than blatantly having the ref push Roxanne's shoulder off of Jade's foot to help Jade Cargill win the match and pin Roxanne's shoulder to the mat. What the fuck are we doing? This is the shit, man. And it's not just a one-time thing. If this was a one-time thing to where I'm like, all right, water underneath the bridge, fine, it happens. Shit happens. No, bro. We've seen this in matches with Seth and Finn. We saw it with Damian Priest in a world title match with Seth. I saw it not too long ago, freaking in a tag team match. I think it was Pretty Deadly and Fraxium not too long ago on SmackDown. Guys, that's the problem is that it's happening way too fucking much. But the fact, bro, we pull back the curtain so many times. We do all of this shit behind the scene. Who gives a fuck? Who gives a shit at this point? Let's just have the referee just blatantly just push Roxanne's shoulder off of Jade's foot. And no one's going to say a fucking word. Oh, it's so fucking bad, man. And then obviously afterwards you had Jade and Asuka face to face, as now they're in the finals. This is what we all assumed what was going to happen. So we'll see as far as that matchup is concerned. But I'm sorry, man, that shit is just so bad, and it takes away the matchup that Jade and Roxanne Perez did perform in that matchup. So where a lot of people, they'll pinpoint that out, like that was really weird. Jess just pushed freaking Roxanne's shoulder off of Jade's foot because it shouldn't happen. It just shouldn't happen. Brian, what are your takes, man? I thought that was my mini rants, but like, what?
No, I completely missed it. But you're 100% right, man. I mean, like, of all the ways that yes, this shit is happening live in real time, and you have to call audibles all the fucking time. Like, so it's like one of those things, man. We're like, okay, and again, it's things are happening fast in the moment, and people make mistakes and whatever.
Yeah.
But like that's the one audible, the one singular audible you cannot do.
Right.
You cannot do that one.
You can't do that, man.
So again, even it's something as simple. So okay, Jessica Carr's down there getting ready for the count. They communicate in the ring already. It's something as simple like Jade, your foot. Jade, your foot.
Yeah.
And then okay, she moves a zip, boom, 1, 2, 3. Or you add another 30 seconds to the match and something else happens and then you get into a different pin. And that's it. But the one thing you cannot do is have the referee do that. God.
Oh my, it's so bad, man. It really is.
Yeah, I mean, beyond that, yeah, I mean, The Rock said the match, it was good. I like both of these ladies. I think it had to be Jade, yes, winning this match.
Yeah.
Which just, man, this championship match, man, I'm telling you, like, I love Jade, yes, and she's going to be a future star, but this has to be 100% for Asuka, man. Like, if she, again, just had this debut in this, or re-debut in this tournament, and yes, she gets to the finals, okay, but then loses, what? Yeah. So, and Jade, look, Jade is going to be, yes, the Rocket is going to be put, she is a future star. Her losing this Queen of would it make sense if she won? Sure. There's a story to be told, and I wouldn't even really begrudge that. It's just the fact that this is Asuka. You had her re-debut in a fucking tournament, and if you're not going to have her win said tournament, then what the fuck?
Yeah,
so,
man. So again, outside of that ridiculous freaking pin count that was made in this match, so man, I'll be honest, man. This tournament, both the men and the ladies, it's so weird of how we're placing everybody, right? Like Alexa Bliss, for example, and I said this in the SmackDown review. Like, I get it. Asuka just came back; she can't lose, but neither can freaking Alexa Bliss, to where she also just came back. You have her booking has been stop and go. Still, to where you've booked her so horribly, but yet people still love Alexa. But guess what? We'll just tag along Alexa with Charlotte Flair, and they're gonna win tag titles with one another. Like, what the fuck?
You called that, man. I was so hoping it would lead to a feud, but that's going to be a tag team, and god damn it, man.
Yeah, well, it'll be a feud, but it won't be until
it'll get there, right? Yeah,
probably is, but still, like, but why? Like, why do we need to see that? It's like just to get Charlotte Flair over as a face, or at least maybe be somewhat of a tweener to blur the lines. It's so fucking stupid. I fucking knew it, to where you knew it with the mannerisms and like the backstage segments. Like, it was fucking, I fucking knew it. It pisses me off for Alexa, because I really like Alexa. And she has, again, it's awesome to see her just grow organically and improve tremendously. A lot of it because of, honestly, I truly believe it was because of Bray. So it sucks, man. It really does suck, just because we got to get Charlotte over as a face. Can we just book?
And that's why again, it's because both Charlotte and WWE, whether it's been Vince or Triple H or Nick Khan, it doesn't fucking matter. Creative and Charlotte Flair, y'all put yourself here. Alexa Bliss has been killing it organically, and now you have to attach her to you to get you the fuck over. God damn.
Exactly, man. So as far as Jade, right, it's just like, all right, cool. We're going to give her a crown, maybe potentially, that has Burger King on it or some other sponsorship or whatever the fuck, right? Or we give it to Asuka at this point, because of the fact she just came back, and, you know, the fact that you can build a really good story with her and Io Sky in a match for SummerSlam. Like what other, unless Jade's going to win this championship, but then what about Bianca Belair? Like, Bianca Belair hasn't been here to tell a story because of her injury. She was there for like 1 week in Knoxville, in her hometown, right? So I don't know, man. It's very weird. The whole tournament and how we've been placing people too is so fucking weird. I'll get to the men's side of things too. But yeah, the matchup was fine. Jade Cargill, I don't mind her push. It's just that I just don't know, because of Bianca's injury, how it's going to progress. Maybe with Naomi, if she wins the championship from Tiffany Stratton in the near future, maybe. But as of right now, man, like, and I'm surprised. I really did not think Asuka was going to get this far, because the writing was on the wall with Stephanie Vacuor, and I was thinking, all right, they're probably going to put a massive rocket, or at least somewhat of a rocket, on Stephanie. She's a flavor of the month. They're going to book her strong, right? That's the thing too about Stephanie, right? This is the thing about, you know, placing wrestlers, where she was in that freaking, what was it, a fatal 4-way against Asuka. So it's like, you gotta, like, the matches and how you're sticking a bunch of other talents with other people. It's like, okay, granted, the loss itself did not hurt Stephanie. But you also got to make her look dominant. You have to make her collect steam and momentum by winning matches. It's just like, I get it. People have to win and lose. So then book them correctly.
Why are you having them in the same match?
In the same match. Right. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's my problem. And I said it from last week too. I'm like, well, dang, I thought Stephanie was going to win. I don't know how it's going to benefit Asuka. Well, Asuka just win this match, but how does it benefit Stephanie, who just fucking got here? So where it's so weird, man. I think,
and I say that too, with even if Asuka does win the Queen of the Ring, like that, yes, that's a great accolade, I guess, or whatever. But I have no faith that they're going to do anything or really tell any meaningful story with it. You know,
and that's the thing. To where, like, you know, it's like we'll make the excuse, like, oh, see, well, we put a title on this person. And we gave Asuka King of the Ring victory, right? We're booking her strong. It's like we're doing everything that, you know, the fans are asking us to do. Okay, well, that's part of it, right? Giving her victories and making her look dominant, making her look strong. Okay, but what about the storyline to where maybe with Io Sky, if it progresses, you have something.
Right.
But if not, what are we doing with Asuka? That's the fucking problem.
Yeah.
So,
and I know this is a little bit before your time, but do you remember the original structure of the King of the Ring tournament and the pay-per-view itself?
Yes.
Like, it was the pay-per-view where,
was the pay-per-view,
yeah, the King of the Ring, like, you ran through a gauntlet of matches that night to crown the King of the Ring.
Absolutely.
And yeah, sure, you can evolve and change things and whatever, but if you're talking about a King of the Ring tournament or a Queen of the Ring tournament, that makes more sense to do it in that model. Not when you're wrestling, you know, this week and that, like, this tournament takes a fucking month, and now you're throwing a title shot on top of it. Right. It just, you convolute the whole fucking thing.
Yeah, it's so convoluted, man. So fucking convoluted. So anyway, let's move on. Gunther cuts a promo, really damn good promo, to where talks, of course, cutting a promo on Bill Goldberg himself. He calls Bill Goldberg a 50-year-old one-trick pony that cannot lace his boots.
Accurate.
And he apologizes to Goldberg's wife and his son for everything that he is going to do to the man that used to be called Goldberg. He says, like, he's never stepped foot, or Goldberg has never stepped foot in the ring with the likes of him, and he's responsible that the legacy and the myth of Bill Goldberg forever dies. And then that's when he drops the microphone and walks off. So honestly, bro, I mean, again, if I had to pick at least a positive in this show, it was fucking Gunther in this promo. This was a damn good promo.
It was awesome. Yeah.
And what sucks though is that even though, like, I listened to Gunther speak, right, to where when Gunther is on it, he's on it. And I mentioned about, like, you know, when John Cena cut his pipe bomb, right, to where, like, the CM Punk pipe bomb, to where it was really, like, again, the best that Cena's done since he's turned heel. I mean, I think we can all agree.
Yeah,
100%. Agree.
100.
And it's like, you know, how, like, once Cena is gone, right? It's just like, who is going to cut those promos to where, like, you're not just enjoying it, but, like, you're captivated by it. Like, you're on the edge of your seat of every word. And, you know, there's wrestlers that you can fill the void and do such with people likes of Gunther who cut promos like that. LA Knight, Karrion Kross, so many other people. So yes, there's names to where we can draw out of a hat and say, like, all right, this dude can feel something. This dude can make us feel something. But the problem is with Gunther is you've dug a massive hole in this dude's booking for fucking months. Even with this championship, it's more of an anchor to his booking than anything, to where he taps out to frickin' Jey Uso in less than 8 seconds. And when he wins the championship, he's got to grind, he's got to sweat to take out a Jey Uso who's booked like Superman. It makes no fucking sense. I'm sorry. People, I mean, listen, you may like Jey Uso, but I'm sorry, the booking of him and how we're going to book him the same way like a Roman Reigns or a frickin' a Cody Rhodes or a Randy, or like what do we, like, stop, man? It's Jey Uso. Like, there's got to be some believability here. I'm not believing that Gunther with a badass choke can't pass out or tap out Jey several times. I think Jey Uso, like, countered out of the out of that chokehold like once or twice in that world title match a couple
Yeah.
weeks ago. I'm sorry, guys, that's not believable. So people can go down the line, and I know I'm going off on a tangent, but like people can go down the line of Jey Uso, like, oh, well, people say Jey Uso can't wrestle, but he's put on this match and this match. Okay, sure. Jey Uso has his moments, else, of course, with everybody. The problem is how WWE is blatantly trying to take this dude, protect this dude, which you should, but there has to be a fine line and a believability. I'm not going to believe that a guy like Jey Uso, who, let's face it, right? So where, listen, I'm sure this dude, people like make fun of his physique and body shame. I'm not really for
he'll
that,
kick
honestly.
your ass any day of the week and run circles around you. All of us, people commenting on there, get the fuck out of here. He's in better shape than you'll ever be.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, maybe, he talks about, how he loves to go to Waffle House. Maybe he goes to Waffle House maybe once or twice, maybe too many times. But still, outside of that, still in much better shape than a whole lot of people or the average person, right?
Yeah.
But still, you take a look at Jey Uso, and you take a look at people like a Gunther, like a Randy Orton, like an LA Knight, like a Cody Rhodes, like a Roman Reigns, and you're telling me that Jey Uso is going to be booked like a Superman amongst those people, that he's lasting in chokeholds and he's kicking out of all these power moves. That's the turnoff, guys, with Jey Uso, right? We could sit here and say, oh, well, Jey Uso's not a good wrestler, this and that. That's personal preference, right? That's just how you
I think he's he's a fine wrestler. I mean, I don't think he has a bad spear. I don't think he's a bad wrestler. He has a
fucking horrible spear. Right. The spear, let's not get into the spear. Let's talk about the spear so many fucking times. But it's just like some of these power moves that he does, to where like it's just like it's Jey Uso. It's so weird. It's just like Jey Uso, like you said, the spear. I feel like he's gonna crack his neck every time he hits the spear. It's so fucking bad. But with Gunther, right? Going back to Gunther, so where like even if you can book this dude and squash Bill Goldberg, it's not going to rectify his booking of how much of a hole you've dug within this dude. People say like Gunther's boring and Gunther's this, Gunther's that. I think Gunther's a fine heel. When he's out there cutting promos like that, he's a good fucking heel. The problem
one of the fucking best.
The problem is that you have not evolved his character and you are not booking him properly the way he should be booked properly. To where the reason why people say these things about Gunther is because of how you are portraying Gunther. To where he looks fucking weak, he looks like a schmuck, and you may have him go out there and say a few words and again did a really good job with this promo, but it's still not rectifying everything that you've done with Gunther so far leading up to this point. So, Brian, what are your takes, man?
Yeah, that's it, man. I mean, it was an excellent promo by Gunther. Excellent heel promo by Gunther.
I agree.
And you hit the nail on the head, man. Like back since, October, November last year when he started just randomly, shaking Cody's hand and whatever. And then, so you're trying to turn him somewhat soft in face, and then you try to revert him back to the heel in the Jey Uso feud, and we see how that back and forth has gone. And now you come, with Goldberg, who again is a 58-year-old guy who's 20 years post when he should have last been in the ring. And you see, like, if you had just kept Gunther, the diabolical hero, and what he can cut, promo-wise on Goldberg in that moment, is fucking top notch. But you've for the last 6 to 8 months, creative have fucked it up. And you're right. Now I don't care. I don't care if this match goes 10 minutes with Goldberg. I don't care if Gunther beats him in 30 seconds. It does nothing for Goldberg. It does nothing for Gunther. The only thing it does possibly for Gunther is he comes out looking worse. There is no way. Again, I don't care if he goes out and destroys Goldberg. He doesn't come out any better.
No,
he doesn't.
He doesn't. Yeah.
So
and that's the thing about wrestling, man. It's like you want these wrestlers to come out looking better than they were prior to this matchup leading up to it, right? So where the only thing that this could do for Gunther is that this could just make him look worse as far as this matchup and how it's going to be booked. So I don't know, man. I really don't know. But we'll find out. We'll find out for this matchup, and I guess.
But that was a damn good heel fucking promo.
Absolutely.
By one of the top heels in the industry for the last fucking 4 years.
Yeah.
And you just randomly decided to fuck with that 8 months ago.
Right.
God damn.
And it's at a time to where like we need heels in this company to where, let's face it,
Yeah.
guys, like if you look at all of the talents that are in this company, right? There's a lot of faces, right? You have LA Knight,
Yeah.
you have Randy Orton,
Or
you have Cody
tweeners.
Rhodes.
It's just faces or
And right,
tweeners.
and then tweeners, right? Faces and
Yeah.
tweeners, and then maybe a couple of heels. Like, guys, who are the heels? Solo?
Yeah.
Guys, stop. Solo's messing around.
Solo, Rollins, Braun, and Bronson, I guess.
Bronson.
I mean,
I can't even count. I really can't even count Karrion Kross because one, he's being cheered, and number two, he's playing. He's in these 60-second like freaking or 90-second segments, and we'll get into that in a second. So where I can't really even count freaking Karrion Kross to a degree because he's just in filler segments to where, and again, we'll just jump straight into it. Why not? To where he's in a backstage segment with Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn, of course, lost his King of the Ring matchup against Orton, so he's eliminated. Freaking Kross is there to put salt in the wound, and like he's laughing at him, but he's like, "Hey, listen, I tried to tell you that this was going to happen, and listen, face it, like you're never going to be world champion." That's the story, and I'm going to get to more of this as well. And then Sami Zayn pretty much just punches him right in his mug. He's like, "I'm done talking to you. We got a matchup." I talked to Adam Pearce, which is official, by the way, for Night of Champions. It's going to be Sammy, and it's going to be Karrion Kross. So let me say this. This has legit, Brian, has nothing to do with Sammy, and definitely has nothing to do with Kross. Kross is freaking fantastic. The dude makes chicken shit out of chicken salad every single fucking week. Here is my problem. This story is based off of what? The fact that Sami Zayn or Karrion Kross is telling Sami Zayn that he's never going to be world champion. Nobody believes that you're going to be world champion. Right. Didn't we just do this with Jey Uso? Nobody believes that I could beat Gunther. Nobody believes that I could be the world champion. I'm just a tag team guy. I'm just this and that. It's just like, no, dude, it's not that we don't believe in you. It's just that nobody cares because your fucking boss is not booking it properly. That's the fucking problem. But it's the same story though, Brian. It's the same thing to where we did this like freaking, Jey Uso. He's like the common folk to where he's relatable to all of the people, right? Sami Zayn, he's a guy that shows up to your local 9 to 5, right? And he's just like all of these other people, and he's going to win a world championship because he deserves it, right? Sami Zayn deserves it, right? What about like the times to where like Hulk Hogan or Stone Cold Steve Austin would win that championship and you would feel something like the moment called for it and you were excited about like him winning the championship. Nowadays, like we see people win championships and it's like, oh, good for him. He deserves it. But back then it was just like, dude, Stone Cold just won the championship. What is this going to lead to? What's up next for Stone Cold? Nobody's saying that anymore. Brian, that's my problem. So we're going to recycle Jey Uso's journey to the title, which also was very underwhelming, by the way, because that storyline with Gunther was fucking awful. And now we're doing the same thing with Sami Zayn. Now we flip it over to Sami Zayn to where we're going to do the same thing with Sami Zayn. And I'm sorry, guys. I like Sami Zayn. I think Sami Zayn does have a lot to offer. I'm not saying he's not a good talent. But if Sami Zayn, to where maybe in a couple of weeks, months, if he wins that championship, I don't give a shit. I'm sorry. I'm not going to care because this company does not make me give a shit about him winning this championship. If you were going to put a title on Sami Zayn, you could have done it freaking 2 years ago when he was white
against
hot.
Roman.
You couldn't do that because you were booking Cody Rhodes to win that championship, which he didn't even win that year. You had to wait another fucking year for Cody to win that championship. But WrestleMania 39 building up towards that match against Roman, right? And then once he won tag titles with Kevin Owens, guys, he hasn't felt the same way since. Okay, he's been in some good moments in the short term. But guys, like his booking has been stop and go. Let's just face it. He was in the mid-card division for a while. I think Sami Zayn's a good mid-carder. I think he's got a lot to offer. I think he's really good in that mid-card spot. And if you book him properly, but you got to do it properly to where you did it 2 years ago, or at least to a degree 2 years ago. And that was built off of Vince McMahon and that Bloodline storyline. Let's just all just be clear about that too. But you had Sami Zayn to where the best time for Sami Zayn to win that world championship was 2 years ago when he fought Roman at Elimination Chamber. Once that was done, that's it. Him as a singles performer, bro, that's been it. Yes, he won the Intercontinental Championship. against Gunther, what was it, WrestleMania 40 as well, right? And it was a good moment, good match and a good moment. But let's face it, it was also underwhelming because people didn't even want Sami Zayn in that spot. They wanted Chad Gable in that spot. So, like, all of these moments, the only really, I guess you can say, really true captivating and memorable moment that Sami Zayn was in, that really truly, I guess you could say, emotionally got people invested, was when he won tag titles with Kevin Owens against the Usos. That was it. And then once that happened, Brian, and we spoke about it on this podcast, when Jey Uso went as a singles performer, he had that matchup with Roman for the Triboulet, and then Jimmy Uso turned on Jey. That's when everything went off the fucking rails. And then Sami has been in the mix because of it. It hasn't helped Sami Zayn's booking. And here we are in 2025, and we're talking about Sami Zayn winning a championship because why? Because he deserves it? Okay, we're doing that with every single fucking wrestler. Like, are we running a business or are we running a fucking charity? Like, at what, like, and again, guys, I'm not saying that people like Sami Zayn are not deserving of it. But if the narrative is that we're giving people a championship because, you know, you put the years in, you put a lot of hard work and years in. Okay, so does Karrion Kross. So has Chad Gable. So has LA Knight, who has busted their ass to get here. So if that's the narrative, then let's just give a title to everybody. The title's no longer prestigious anymore. The title should be the icing on the cake for everything that you've done prior to it. And that, Brian, is my problem. So Karrion Kross has done a tremendous job. Sami Zayn is doing well for what's given to him. It's not the talent. It's the fact that you're resting on a storyline that is recycled that you just did with Jey Uso. And that's the problem. What are your takes, Brian?
I agree with everything you said about Sami in regards to that. So I'll keep it to Karrion and just like, look, man, again, WWE Universe, like Karrion Kross, like he's been doing this, right? And who's been denying him, right? The TV time, no, we're not going with this. That's been Triple H and TKO and Tony Khan and Bruce Pritchard and whoever the fuck else, right?
Exactly, right.
And he takes it upon himself to start doing shit, even if it's a little step, the way he wants to present it, his character, whatever. And you see us respond to it, right? Because it's fucking good. And it's always been good. Triple H just denied it. Nick Khan just denied it. Bruce Pritchard just denied it. So again, WWE audience, yes, they're still going to have control, you know, and do what they want to do. But if you make your voices heard, man, and you see the work that these men and women are doing, and if it is something captivating to you and you want to see more of it and are interested in it, fucking speak out. You know, the internet is, there's just as much as ignorant neckbeards on the internet as there are reasonable fucking people. So be it. Go to the arena and chant Karrion Kross's name until they have to bleep it out. That's how it's done, man. And so shout out to Karrion Kross. Because at the end of the day, man, like, you know, again, this gold, you know, I have to tie it into Goldberg, man, because, like, again, it's just this meathead narrative, like, oh, I pulled myself up by my bootstraps and nobody ever helped me. Bull fucking shit, dude. Bullshit. I don't know. But yeah, hopefully, you know, the Goldbergs, you can pack your bags and get the fuck out of here. You know, we'll take the Karrion Krosses and the Ron Killings and people like that. So, hopefully it's just the beginning of a new age. You know, I don't know. But shout out to Karrion because
shout out to
all
Karrion.
of this is because he decided, fuck it, I'm betting on myself. That's why.
And let's be honest too, the fact that Karrion Kross is getting, I guess you can say, the PLE spotlight because this is a matchup on Night of Champions, it's because of the fact that matches were taking off. And that's what sucks, right?
100% too.
With Corey Graves, it's kind of the same way. It's where the only reason why Corey Graves is on commentary right now is because Pat McAfee wants time off. Right. It's the only reason why you're in this spot is because our guy, Pat McAfee, right, he can't do all the sound bites and the yeeting and all of this shit. But yeah, we'll throw you a bone. We'll come on to the Raw commentary table next to Michael Cole. Right. That's the only reason why.
Pay attention, people, because you're exactly right. And they're gonna say, oh, see, See, we listen to the WWE audience, right? And Karrion Kross has a match now, maybe to some degree, but that match is there because you're not having the Dom and AJ style match.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why it's there.
That's why it's there. Exactly. It's like now it's becoming WWE Night of Non-Champions, to where now I think there's only 2 champions defending their titles.
Well,
on
yeah, right. But they're going to present it as like, oh, you like Corey Graves and we brought him back. No, the fuck you didn't. No, you didn't, motherfucker.
Dude, yeah. When Pat McAfee is now refreshed and he's ready to come back, he's gonna go right back to NXT, bro. Like it's not like, come on, guys. Like, we see the bullshit through this fucking company. Like, and we've seen it for years, even under Vince McMahon. And we've said it before, Brian. Like, once a McMahon is no longer a part of this company,
I think
that's when finally WWE can maybe step into the right direction. And that's
that.
Really
and also, but again, I do really think we talked it earlier. We don't have to go back into it, but the Saudis, man, I really think they will own the WWE product in 5 to 10 years.
I'm sure of it. Absolutely. I think TKO is just sexing themselves up to be sold in the near future, honestly. Yeah. And who knows if Vince is even part of that too. But again, that's a different discussion for a different day. Let's get into the ladies, man. This was for the women's Intercontinental Championship. This is Becky Lynch versus Bayley. Becky, your champion. Bayley, your challenger. Lyra Valkyria gets involved. So obviously checking in on Bayley. There's, I guess you can say, some friction or some miscommunication with Bayley and Lyra, to where freaking Bayley's like shoving Lyra out the way to get to Becky. And then freaking, I think Becky knocked Lyra on her ass like twice. And then like Lyra's trying to get to freaking Becky, but she can't do anything because it's going to force a DQ. So like Bayley's like making sure like she's like giving like Lyra the side eye, like, don't you freaking dare like cost me this match. Freaking Bayley gets up on the top rope. Freaking Lyra, after the second time she was attacked, she rolls into the ring and starts wailing on freaking Becky. That forces the DQ. It's funny, right? It's like we want to now we want to say it's a DQ, but a couple weeks ago, we just want to say it's a no contest. Like, you want it, like, Brian, I swear to God, like, this company relies on doing the most outlandish shit and the fans, and they bank on the fans not saying anything. It's just like, we do no contest, right? When it works in our favor, when we're trying to bullshit, and then we'll go back to the DQ finish. Oh, this match is thrown off. It's no contest. It never happened. But this match is a DQ. Like, make it make sense. Yeah. So that's one thing. So of course, Becky wins her championship via a DQ. And then a screaming match between two faces, by the way, Bayley and Lyra. It's two faces screaming at one another, to where now they got to coexist to take out their foe, that is freaking Becky Lynch and this championship. Maybe a potential, again, we've talked about it last week, a potential triple threat with all three of these ladies involved, possibly for SummerSlam. I truly feel like that's what they're possibly going to do, because of now this added friction being with Bayley and Lyra. I just don't
care.
I don't care. Right. Exactly. I don't care for it. That's number one. And it's just that, like, okay, then what's also the end game here? The end game is to what? Because I mean, what do you think, Brian? I mean, is Becky Lynch losing this title anytime soon? Maybe at SummerSlam? Does Lyra get the championship back at freaking? What do you think, man?
Yeah, I mean, I think so. I mean, this is another bullshit triple threat, right? And I talked about Bayley last. Like, she's by no means winning this title. It's going to be a triple threat. Lyra's going to pin Bayley, continuing, extending, building that feud. Becky's going to say, oh, I was never pinned, and we still have the triple threat. That's what the fuck this is. That's what it is, man.
And then even afterwards, right? Let's say if that does come into fruition, and Lyra wins back this title, which we've even said it from the jump, right? The only Becky has this title to eventually drop it back to Lyra Valkyria, right? But now for Bayley, like, eventually
she's not done, but fuck.
Lyra's gonna need somebody to now feud with once she gets this title back, because this whole situation with Becky will be done, right? At least that's what we think. So
yeah, I don't think so because she's not going to take the pinfall, so she'll still be there for a little bit. Yeah,
you think so? Okay, well that's
Bailey's
also
going to take the pinfall. Yeah,
so as far as let's say whenever this whole Becky charade is done with Lyra and I've honestly again it's had its moments where again I think Becky
yeah,
Lynch has
for
done a
sure.
decent job as a heel. I
Yep.
really do feel that way.
I think Lyra's improved in the last 2 months.
Lyra, yeah,
You know?
I think
Yeah.
Lyra has again. I think
Yep.
again. I think Becky Lynch has truly helped
Yeah.
her and has truly helped her stock rise over the last several weeks. But yes, definitely kudos to Lyra. She's got to be the one to go out there and perform it. So she's doing a good job improving. Absolutely. But now we get to Bailey, right? So where the last thing that I just want to see, Brian, is a recycled storyline with Bailey and Lyra in the near future, because you have a feeling that that's going to happen.
100%.
And that's what this company just relies on is recycled storylines. Guys, you're seeing it all over the place in this company. You're seeing it with the Judgment Day. You're seeing it with the Bloodline with Jacob Fatu and Solo Sikoa, right? You're seeing it with the tag titles, right? The women's you're seeing it all over the place in this company.
Karrion Kross and Sammy.
Karrion Kross and Sammy.
Sammy and Jay, yeah,
right. Sami Zayn and Jay Uso, like I just mentioned, like the whole freaking, the crowd's behind you, right? And freaking, we got, being like the Rocky story, to where like Jay scratches and claws and he achieves the ultimate obstacle, which is to win the world title. And now we're gonna flip the narrative over to Sami Zayn. Now we're do the same thing, and now it's take out a Jay Uso. And we put in Sami Zayn, and we'll do the same story. Yeah. We're doing now. And what are we going to do, guys? Are we going to do the same thing with Bailey and Lyra, to where we're going to turn Bailey on Lyra Valkyria, and it's going to be the same recycled story, to where it's like, oh, man, you cost me you cost me the championship, to where I did not forget when you cost me that title, and they're gonna people are gonna blow smoke up everybody's ass, like, oh, see, they're using long-term storytelling. No, it's a recycled storyline, to where you just did the same thing with Becky. Becky turned on Lyra, to where I made you wouldn't be in this position because of me, this, that, or the other, right? And then you're kind of you're doing that same sort of narrative, to where Bailey, it was the same way, to where she's a friend. She was almost like a mentor. And now you're going to do that same sort of turn. Like, why is it everything, bro, is a spoke on the wheel as far as storylines, as far as some promos? Seth Rollins is a great example. It's a spoke on the fucking wheel, to where everything is just recycled, regurgitated garbage that nobody cares. That's the fucking problem. So sure, Lyra may win this championship. That might be the end goal. Becky and Lyra still maybe feuding within, maybe, who knows, maybe after SummerSlam, who the fuck knows, within this company. But if this was also just to recycle Bailey and Lyra the same way we did Becky and Lyra, that's where I'm going to have a fucking issue.
Yeah.
And that's where Lyra's momentum is also going to just be flatlined, because you're not benefiting Lyra's the way she first won that championship, to where, let's face it, she was in the most random positions possible. Now you're just going to put her in a recycled storyline with Bailey. Oh, but James, but it's Bailey though, and there's a story. Doesn't fucking matter. It's the same story with Becky. It's not progressing or evolving Lyra and her title reign, her second title reign.
Yep.
So yeah, man. What are your thoughts, Brian? What are your thoughts?
Oh, I agree with all that, man. Yeah, like I said, I think this is it's presented for Lyra to win that back. And these three women, I think it'll go past a little past SummerSlam. But it's going to be these three women, and much the same type storylines, and that's what it's going to be.
Yeah,
that's all they got.
And this is something that I'm also coming across too, to where, like, again, this is on Twitter and X, and I've seen it all when it comes to wrestling fans on Twitter and X, right? So where, like, now people are saying, like, oh, well, what if Lyra turns heel on Bailey? Guys, you have.
Oh yeah, I mean, they could do that too, but again, it's just but it's what you've done this, you've built this story, and now boom, 180. Now what, she's going to team with Becky to take out Bailey? What the fuck?
Right, that's what I'm like, bro. You're trying to get Lyra over, as a face, right? That's why she's with Becky. And now
Yeah.
you're just going to say, fuck it, we're going to turn her heel? What are we doing here? Nothing makes sense, bro. Oh my God. It's just like, if that listen, I'm not saying that that's going to happen. Maybe it could happen. Who the fuck knows with this company? But that's what I'm hearing now. It's like people are saying like, well, what if Lyra turns heel? We're still trying to get Lyra over as a face. We haven't even accomplished that yet. I don't understand. Like, she's trying to find her footing with her promos and getting a connection with the audience. Like, I don't understand it, bro. It makes no sense. So now,
like we've said, like, she's clearly made huge strides in the last 2 months, but let's go ahead and pump the brakes on that. Let's have you create a whole new character now.
Right.
Damn.
It's just, I don't know, man. I really don't know. I mean, again, could it be good for her? Sure, but it's just the timing of how and listen, we've seen heel turns to where, oh wow, that turn was really good, but guess what? It evolves to nothing. The New Day is a great fucking example, right? Mm-hmm. Chad Gable and with the Otis storyline, what fucking went nowhere, right? Let's be honest. Seth Rollins in this turn with Heyman, it's gone fucking nowhere. With this whole entire faction with Heyman, Braun Breaker, and Bronson Reed, it's gone nowhere. It's been flatlined. The booking is so flatlined because freaking Rollins is getting cheered. He's getting for the sing along. He's still getting cheered to the ring. He's a mouthpiece, even though he has a mouthpiece beside him that's never fucking used. He's in a faction that has no fucking name. So, like, guys, we could sit here and
record profits, homies, record profits.
It's like we're turning. It's like we're turning people. Just for the sake, sometimes I really truly feel of turning people that leads to nothing. Nothing evolves from it. So we're just turning people. Like, that's just all I see. We talk about, turning Lyra heel. Cody Rhodes, I think, mentioned on his he has a new show called like, what do you want to talk about or something. He's mentioned about turning heel too. I'm like, why does Cody Rhodes need to fucking turn heel? I don't understand it. Listen, I get it. We need heels. But if you're not going to evolve anything, if you're not going to book them properly, the turn is not going to matter. The New Day, again, is a great fucking example. They had one of the best turns against Big E. And you never evolved anything with that and Big E because Big E's got the neck injury. But you could still do some placement with Big E to where it still feels like the steam coming off of the New Day heel turn still is still there. Like, it's just, but it never carried on. All right, up next, Chad Gable was in a backstage segment with Penta. Penta pretty much, I guess, destroys his freaking arm, freaking backstage. Now the report is that Chad Gable is also dealing with an injury. So I guess this was a way to write him off television. I'm not sure. It's unfortunate too. El Grande Americano is also unfortunately injured as well with the same injury. It's also very unfortunate, right?
Oh man, what a coincidence.
Right, what a coincidence.
Same injury,
right?
Same injury. It probably happened the same way too, right?
So weird, right? So yeah, man. So Chad, I guess, Chad Gable, again, I don't know the severity of the injury, but it seems like this was a way to at least keep him out for a couple weeks. Who knows? And again, it's the thing with Penta too, right? To where like Penta, he's in a matchup with Breaker. Now he's back with Gable. It's like, I don't understand it to where
Me neither.
You could have told a really good story with Gable and Penta when Penta got to this company, and it's been stop and go. It's been stop and go. You put a mask over Chad Gable, I'm sorry. They're two separate people. Let me be respectful. El Grande Americano and Chad Gable are two separate people. Let's remind ourselves with that, right? So, but at the end of the day, right, Chad Gable specifically, like Chad Gable Penta WrestleMania, that was sitting in your fucking lap, dog. It was sitting in your fucking lap. And we mentioned that a couple weeks ago. So Penta, now with Chad Gable out of the equation, I guess that's why Penta was inserted with Braun Breaker and everything with Seth Rollins at the start of the show because of this injury. So I don't know, man. I really don't. But I'll get to your thoughts, Brian, in just a second. I'll get to this last segment and we'll move on to the main event here. Raquel Rodriguez comes out. She's angry. She's animated. She calls out Rhea Ripley to the ring for a fight. And then that's pretty much what it was. It was a fight, a brawl, a good old Triple H Hunter Hearst Helmsley brawl. And then Roxanne Perez came out to try to help assist Raquel. to distract Rhea Ripley. A Tahana bomb was hit from Raquel to Rhea through the table. I think it said Slim Jim on it. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure.
100, yeah, it did.
Was it Slim Jim? It said fucking Slim Jim, right? Snapping into a Slim Jim table, right? Freaking, we got to get those freaking
just
lines
like those
and references out.
Easy snap away tables.
Right, yeah, those easily breakable tables. The easy.
I mean, again, it's a protection for the wrestler, so it's no real shade, but it's just so silly.
Yeah, exactly. So, and then of course, Rhea's pissed off. She storms into Adam Pearce's office, wants a matchup, and Pearce says it's official and walks away. So as far as Rhea and Raquel is concerned, and Brian, I'll get your thoughts about Gable and of course this situation, but I mean, look, Rhea being away from the title picture, I think that is what WWE should be doing. With Raquel, it can be good to at least find where Raquel stands and maybe find her footing as far as not being, maybe not in Liv Morgan's shadow, but just alongside Liv Morgan, being away from the tag team. So this can be good. And the whole insertion with Roxanne Perez, right? So where Roxanne Perez to where now once Liv Morgan comes back, and it's unfortunate with the injury, I don't know how they're going to play this out because Liv Morgan is going to be out for a very long time because her injury does require surgery. Yeah. So they're going to try.
Shout out to Liv. Yeah.
Shout out to Liv Morgan. Absolutely. So they're going to try, Brian, to play this out to where Roxanne, I guess, is going to get into the good graces of, people like a Dominic and a Raquel Rodriguez, and they're both going to be champions and all this stuff, right? But again, man, it's like we've said, though, it's a recycled fucking storyline. Yes, 100%. It may have its moments. We're not going to sit here and say it's not going to have its moments, and these talents are not going to go out there and do well what's given to them. They definitely will. But in reality, in totality, it's a recycled storyline. You take out Liv Morgan, you put in a Roxanne Perez. You take out Damian Priest, you put in frickin' Dominic Mysterio. That's what this is, bro. And you take out Liv Morgan, you take out Rhea Ripley, you put in a Liv Morgan. It's that whole fucking situation, right? It's nothing. It's nothing. Everybody is in the same recycled storyline, Brian.
Yeah.
And they can't get out of it because this company doesn't know where to pull apart this person and that person, and giving people an organic, fresh new start to create good, organic, captivating storylines. But everybody is in the same time. It's like being stuck in a time loop. They can't fucking get out of it.
Yep.
So what are your takes, Brian, before we get to the main event? Chad Gable and, of course, this segment with Raquel.
I mean, so again, back to Gable, man. I mean, you can go back to when the Alpha Academy broke up, right? I mean, Otis was getting over, right? Was a good, decent storyline, right? It fucking went nowhere. Mm-hmm. You get him involved with Alpha Academy and then the Wyatts. Okay, that could be good. Goes fucking nowhere. You bring Penta in, right? You immediately have him and Gable kind of, okay, this could be really good. Goes fucking nowhere. Like, that's what we're saying here, people. Like, Jesus Christ, man. Like, yeah, Gable in all of these scenarios, right? Alpha Academy, American Made, Grande Americano, he's been fucking good. And the creative fucks it up every single time. So, and yes, injuries are part of it and whatever, but no, most of this is uncreative. And even if there are injuries, God, it's get fucking creative. You absolute abject morons. Like, what the fuck? And then you go to, I'm sorry, now, what was the second part of the
Raquel and Rhea Ripley?
Raquel, yes. Again, another, I'm really excited to see a feud between Rhea and Raquel. And like you mentioned, because I think Raquel has improved. And that could be something that elevates her 100%. But how's this all going to end? We already fucking know it. We already know it. Mm-hmm. Roxanne and Raquel are going to be buddy-buddy. They'll win tag team champions. Roxanne and Dom are going to do whatever. Liv's going to come back as a face. she's even going to team with Rhea to take out Roxanne and Raquel.
And Raquel.
That's the fucking story.
Yep.
You already know it.
Yep.
Like
exactly, bro. You pretty much just booked the storyline for the next several months in advance.
The next, yep. That's it. That's it.
Man.
Because they won't fucking do anything different. It's all. I mean, that's what they were doing essentially. Even bringing Roxanne into this now with the Liv injury.
Right.
It just makes it fall into place easier. That's all the fuck it is.
Absolutely, bro. Everybody is just stuck in a time loop right now, right? Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu, they can't get out of this bloodline story. Finn Balor, frickin' Liv, Dominic, they can't get out of this Judgment Day storyline.
Yeah.
Frickin' Bailey and Lyra.
And even to Rhea. Being essentially that she's still fighting the fucking bloodline, or not the bloodline, Judgment Day.
The Judgment Day, right? Exactly. Yeah, she can't get out of it either. To where you finally bring her away from the title, but she's stuck right back with the Judgment Day. So, and who knows? And who knows? I wouldn't be shocked, Brian, because there's no fucking brand split in this company. I wouldn't be shocked if Damian Priest maybe just gets involved or maybe has like some sort of say.
Absolutely.
I would not be shocked. Yep. I really would not
Me
be
neither.
shocked.
Me neither.
Because now that Jacob Fatu is technically more of a face than he is a heel, right? Going up against, Solo in that United States title. Because, I mean, again, Priest legit said on SmackDown that he's going after the U.S. title. You can't do that anymore.
That's a year from now. Maybe a year from now. Yeah.
To maybe give Damian some TV time, I would not be shocked, guys. In the next couple of weeks, you will probably see Damian Priest right back messing with people like Finn Balor and Dominic Mysterio and the Judgment Day.
Coming to save Rhea.
Coming to save Rhea Ripley. And maybe doing some conflict with Liv Morgan, right? I don't trust her, right? I don't trust Liv Morgan, like, and then Rhea and frickin' Damian Priest, right? As the Terror Twins, right? They try to like that's what I'm telling you, bro. Like, there's no originality in this fucking company.
But with this, and again, because Liv. What they say, she could be out for like 6 months or something, right? And again, shout out to Liv. Hope you heal well, and can't wait to see you back. But it might be like 6 months or so. But so this is the next. It's saying she does come back in 6 months. This stuff right now between Rhea, Roxanne, Dom, Raquel, that's the next 8 months.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's absolutely right. We move on to the main event. This was the semifinal of the King of the Ring tournament. This is Cody Rhodes against Jason Yeaterman, aka Jey Uso. Frickin' the matchup was the frickin' it's a face versus face match because we have heel champions and a heel frickin' briefcase holder. So we got to throw and mesh all of our faces in this frickin' tournament. Especially with Orton, and you had Sami Zayn for SmackDown, and here you have Cody and Jay for Raw. The matchup, guys, was 20 minutes in total. Like, guys, I'm sorry. It's just like, again, Jey Uso, much love to the dude. And I love the fact how he's gotten himself into this position. And, the company is trying something. And let's face it, you put the world title on him, it didn't fucking work. That title was not gonna help anybody. Nobody in that company with Jey Uso holding on to that title. Nobody at all. To a degree, not even Jey Uso himself. So the title had to come off of him. But now to where you still have this dude wrestle matches with the likes of Cody, Gunther, all of these people, and he's going 20 plus minutes and doing all these power moves and spears and these false finishes. And all of this shit, guys, I'm sorry. It's not fucking believable. This is Cody Rhodes, who was champion because he took out a guy who held on to a fucking title for 4 fucking years. And he's got to go through 20 minutes to get through Jason Uso. Guys, I'm sorry, man. I'm not saying, guys, that you should have Jey Uso get squashed or lose an under freaking fight. That's not what I'm saying, man. But you got to find a fine line that's believable for Cody Rhodes to beat Jey Uso, and it's not hurting Jey Uso in the process. Because I get it. You're trying to protect Jey Uso in defeat, right? As you should be. But you got to make fans believe in it. Fans like me and others are not going to believe that this dude is lasting 20 minutes with a guy that won a world championship against a guy who held on to a title for 4+ years and was going through the entire roster. I'm sorry. It's just so.
I think with Jay, I mean, they shit the bed on that with Gunter and how they. So anything after that,
right.
whether it's Cody Rhodes or whatever.
Exactly.
I mean, I hear what you're saying, but it's small potatoes because what they did with Gunter, that was just complete.
Yeah, no, that's my point.
Yeah,
because of how you've booked Jay just unrealistically with Gunther, it's gonna carry along with all of these other superstars. That's my problem. Because it's just so odd. And the fact, again, bro, they're both faces doesn't make sense. So Cody wins this match, as he should have, by the way. So now you're going to get Cody versus Orton in the finals of the King of the Ring tournament. That'll be in Saudi for Night of Champions. Now, look, Cody Rhodes versus Orton, right? We've talked about this for a while to where we're getting the matchup, but now it's being thrown as a finals of a tournament, and they're both faces. I'm going to make this clear, right? And I'm going to let this play out. Right, I'm going to be a good simpleton that everybody tells me to let it play out. They could carry this to where, all right, I'll listen to you for this one time. I'll listen, but guys, I'm telling you this right now. If we end Night of Champions, right, to where I don't know what the last match will probably be, John Cena and CM Punk. That'll probably be the final main event matchup, possibly. But if we end this matchup, Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton, right, to where they have a good, respectable matchup, teacher versus student, right, the history and all this stuff. If we just end this match, because Cody Rhodes is going to win this match, Cody, and he's going to go on to fight John Cena at SummerSlam and have this rematch against John Cena at SummerSlam. That's what's happening. But if you, at the end of this match, just have Cody beat Orton, shake hands, show their mutual respect, and then cut to black and go off the air to commercial, I swear to fucking God, because if you are not evolving this, Brian, to a potential feud, to evolve a Cody and an Orton feud, if you don't plant a seed, if you don't do anything, if you just have these fucking guys shake hands, oh, come here, you, I love you, man, right? Legacy and frickin' all of this shit, right? Oh, you're so, Randy, I love you, man. Cody, I love you too, bro. And you just hug and kiss one another, right? Like you did with Gunther and his booking with Randy Orton, to where Gunther talked shit about frickin' Orton's family, and then Orton's like, oh, water underneath the bridge, man. Come on in here, man. Frickin' hug, frickin' shake hands, right? I can't stand it. Because if that's all we're gonna do, Brian, then this is a complete waste of time to do this matchup, right? A once-in-a-lifetime match to where the story speaks itself. A heel Randy Orton and a babyface Cody Rhodes with legacy, their entire history with one another, teacher versus student, the segments, the story, everything built into a matchup to where you want to build up this once-in-a-lifetime matchup and feud, like, as captivating as possible. But if you're just going to waste this match in a Saudi show, face versus face, and to evolve absolutely nothing, then Triple H needs to be removed from creative as quickly as possible than he already should. Because you would be dumb enough not to capitalize on this opportunity to evolve something. Because if not, bro, if we're just going to play the good shaking of the hands and then wait, we'll tell more story within Monday Night Raw and the weeks after. No, you plant some seeds, you evolve something, that fucking matchup in that particular night, in that particular matchup. If not, this is a completely fucking waste of time, because it's Cody and it's Orton. It's two fucking faces. You had Jay and frickin' Cody shake hands and show each other respect. Come here, you. It's like Pee Wee football. Good game. Good game. Good game. Good game. That's what pro wrestling is, dude. And it sucks. It really does suck. What are your takes, Brian, on this main event? What do you think?
Well, I'm gonna give what it's not even what I hope that happens, but given that we're already here and some of the stuff is happening, I go back to John Cena's heel turn, right? And what I said, particularly, like I still feel like if he carried this out through the year and walked away as a heel, that would be something great. That would be something new,
Yeah.
and we've never
Right.
seen before, or whatever.
Absolutely. Right.
But as this has evolved, and you realize, oh, there never really was a plan to this. I think Cena loses at SummerSlam. That's going to be kind of the halfway point in this run, or a little bit more than halfway. But then he's going to come back and finish the run, redeeming himself as a face.
That's a face.
And so how do you get there, right? I think Orton needs to, and we've talked about this too, like this feud has to happen, right? Orton's not getting any younger. This feud, out of any two superstars, right? And there's a lot. I mean, sure, they're all over the place, but Orton and Cody Rhodes and the history, even with Dusty,
Yeah.
God, you have to fucking do this, man.
Yeah. Dusty,
but yeah,
right?
the drawback to it is, yeah, you're starting it in this fucking tournament. Okay, fine. And I say that all to say that, like, Cody is, and for the foreseeable future, will be the ultimate babyface, right? He is the John Cena of this generation. He is the Hulk Hogan right now in this moment. That's the position he's filling.
Yeah.
So yeah, this match, Orton beats him. And he's going to get the shot at Cena. Even to like it one shot, like it could even be by outside interference by Cena himself, right, to cause Orton to win the match. In which then you still got to get to that match with Cena, right? But the seeds are going to be planted of that Viper, right, of a heel turn for Orton. And so you get to the SummerSlam match in which Orton's the guy, and look, Orton's a 15-time. He's right behind Cena. Like, so this is no guy. Like, understand, Orton is one of the greatest ever. So yeah, Orton wins that title. Cena maybe takes whatever time off, and then you go into that Orton and Cody feud. In which, yes, ultimately that ends with a face Cody, who's already lost, right, to Orton, getting that title back and defeating Orton for it. If that's the way you're fucking going with, with these three people involved. But I will say this, between Orton and Cody, Cena needs to be the fuck out of the picture for that. Like, so yeah, that's why, like, all of this shit it's still like up in the air. But if I'm booking it, yeah, Orton wins, Orton beats Cody, Orton beats Cena. Yeah.
We'll see, man. Because I agree. Yeah, because I agree. Because Cena, the thing is though, because I hear what you're saying, but you hit the nail on the head when you said the fact that John Cena doesn't need to partake as far as that whole Orton and Cody potential feud, right? And that's where I think, as far as I'm hesitant with the idea, but it could happen. Right. But I don't know, man. I do think if there is going to be a matchup right now, my gut is telling me that Cody is going to beat Orton and he's going to face John Cena.
Right, because he is the ultimate face right now.
He is the ultimate face right now. Exactly. And the fact that you had Cena and Orton at Backlash from St. Louis, and the ultimate, like you said, the baby face who's playing, the ultimate role in the company is Cody Rhodes right now. He did pin John Cena at Money in the Bank in that freaking tag match. Yep. So right now,
Orton had him beat though too. We got to go back to that too. Like, Orton had Cena beat.
True. True. But at least as far as like pinning John Cena, like actually pinning him in that ring. But I hear what you're saying too. So we'll see. It's just
but you're probably right. The way they're gonna do it, is Cody's gonna win, beat beat Orton, maybe beat Cena.
Yeah.
And then what? Orton comes after Cody then as the heel. I don't know.
Then it's like then you do the turn, and then you do like why why did you have to have Cena inserted into all of that? So so that's my only saving grace, Brian, is that look, Cody's gonna win this tournament just to get a rematch with Cena at SummerSlam. But the only saving grace that I have is that if you are not evolving this to any type of story with Randy Orton, to where, listen, I get it. Randy Orton has a baby face. We may all like the dude. People may sing his theme song to a certain degree, right? When he comes out, the Voices theme song, right? Cool. That's great. But right now, man, Orton is not getting any younger. Orton is, let's face it, a spoke on the fucking wheel, to where it's like with Sami Zayn, right? With Sami Zayn lately, he's been in everybody's business, right? He goes over to CM Punk. It's like, hey, this match is so important. You got to win. No, he's been in business with
Cody Rhodes, the Bloodline.
Right? Cody Rhodes and the Bloodline, right? The same goes for Orton. Orton is just legit, like, he's inserted, I don't want to say as the third wheel, but like he's just put in the most just bizarre and just most forgettable parts of some of these shows. I mean, let's face it. It's still Randy fucking Orton. This dude has told you, like, he still has a couple more years left to where he still wants to produce good storytelling, good matches, right? Like, we gotta, like, when is the urgency, right, in this company to where we push on the fucking gas pedal and we start getting something going with Cody Rhodes versus Orton? I'm holding out hope, Ryan, that this is possibly the case, because if not, bro, I don't know what the fuck we're doing. I really don't. So and this show as a whole, guys, it's utterly, like, outside of Gunther's promo, right, and a few other things like Karrion Kross, we can nitpick like the little things in a 90-second promo segment,
right? But that in totality, again, is like 2 minutes of a 3-hour show.
Absolutely, in a 2.5 to 3 hour show. This show, guys, on top of course, product placement, commercials, all of this shit, on top of a shit product and shit booking, it is utterly unwatchable. Agree. SmackDown is going to go back to 2 hours. It's really not going to benefit anything, bro. At this point, to where, 2 hours, 3 hours, if it's a Triple H product, it's not really going to do anything at this point. And yeah, it's just that even within these shows, man, and from the reason why you guys are probably getting this show on a Thursday and not on Tuesdays is lately we've been doing these Raw reviews on Tuesdays. I was out of town. I wasn't even thinking about watching Monday Night Raw because I didn't give two shits about watching this Monday Night Raw because I felt like I was not missing out on anything. And that's the thing about these shows, man. Until things change, like I have no desire to go to my Netflix account and to watch Monday Night Raw when there's just a plethora of other things, whether it is television or whether it other aspects of entertainment, that's just going to entertain the fuck out of me. And Monday Night Raw is just getting lower and lower and lower at the bottom of that totem pole, man. And on top of the fact to where, like, you just lose so much respect of this company and what they're doing with this whole Saudi show and how they go about business. And again, it's nothing new to this company. They've done it now for years. Again, we went back to the whole Owen Hart situation with Vince McMahon and everyone else as a whole. It's just this company, man. It's like they want us to talk more AEW, as lately we've been doing that on this platform. It's like they're pushing us towards more and more to talk more AEW and what they have to offer. Like, it really truly feels that way. Which you guys will definitely get some more AEW content. Just make sure you guys stay tuned for it. Again, AEW All In is around the corner, so stay tuned for that. And many more, of course, AEW shows that we will go over. But Brian, any final thoughts before we wrap up, man, on this Monday Night Raw show as a whole?
Well, so the Monday Night show as a whole, man, it's, average at best. But much lower. I mean, it's not good. I don't need to watch it live. I haven't watched it live in some time.
Same.
It's, again, there's a lot of superstars, men, women that I do like and that are, showing flashes and bright spots. And, I hope they continue to succeed. But for a 2.5, 3 hour show, no, it's not enough. Most of it is fucking garbage. Yeah.
It is.
And beyond that, I want to take a moment, to say, James, thank you, as well as Ruthless Talk, community viewers, whether it's on YouTube, Instagram, just wherever you see us and share us, and I don't know, tell us we're stupid or tell us we're great. It doesn't fucking matter to me.
Yeah.
I sincerely want to thank you all. I'm going to be taking a step back for a little bit. But thank you all to the guests that we've had on, past and future. Thank you all. Shout out to you all. And James, my man, thank you. I'll be tuning in, watching and seeing who you're bringing on, and yeah, celebrating the growth of this, from the background for a little bit. So, but much love to y'all, man. Thank you, James. Thank you, anybody who's fucking subscribed and shared, man. Much love.
Absolutely appreciate the kind words, man. Absolutely. So yes, so you'll definitely, if obviously the secret is out that yes, and I even mentioned this in the last episode that yes, I will be doing some more solo episodes, and yes, having some special guests on the show as well. We do have a special guest for the Night of Champions review for this coming Sunday. You will see who that is for that special episode. That's when our next episode will be. But yeah, I want to thank you, Brian, too, man. You have been amazing. You've been an amazing co-host. I wouldn't have any other partner to talk pro wrestling
that.
And to shoot the shit, man. Again, you have two guys who come from different eras and think very alike as far as how we feel about this whole pro wrestling thing. So where it kind of just started off as like a pipe dream to where, hey, thinking about doing the show, putting some ideas together, and here we are. And for 2 years we've had this platform, and we have been on the rise, as I've seen this again on all of our platforms, TikTok, Instagram to a degree, and even on YouTube, ever since we created our YouTube channel for about a year and a half now, as we're very close to 400 subs. Again, the amount of growth we've had on this platform, it's truly a blessing, man. I'm very grateful for it.
Man.
I'm grateful to have the opportunity to create this platform, and for Brian, for you to be a part of it, has been awesome. So yes, it's not a goodbye forever, but it's a goodbye for
not
now.
At all. Yeah.
So you will see, bro, of course, Brian Thomas on the platform again. But in the meantime, you get to see my beautiful bearded face along with a bunch of other special guests that we have on the show. But once again, Brian, I do want
looking forward to it, man. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you, and just for being a great co-host, and creating such great memories. We've had a lot of, I guess you could say, sound bites and rants and a bunch of shit that's been that I go through my time loop now. Is now that we've gone through episodes and podcasts, I go through memories now, and it's just like, oh shit, I remember when you said this or when I said this, right? So it's great, man. I'm very grateful for that. And again, regardless of what our takes are as far as pro wrestling, at the end of the day, sometimes we may seem, like freaking God, this dude's an asshole. Like, my God, man, he's always like talking this type of shit.
I embrace that at this point. I'm 45 years old.
I embrace it too, bro.
Here's the thing, man. My assholeness, I know why I'm being an asshole. It comes with a purpose. It ain't an asshole for the sake of being an asshole, and some people don't get that, and that's okay.
Right? Yeah. Listen, absolutely, man. But to everybody that does, understand the message that we do spew out, as why we give the takes that we do. Again, for me personally, I don't like to give just my opinions, right? I also talk about, we go through matches and ratings and numbers and statistics to create what's called, valid criticism, honest criticism, have honest discussions.
We can't do that anymore, James.
We can't.
We're not supposed to.
We're not supposed to. No, regardless of what it is in the world. It's wrestling, sports, politics, whatever it is. But, for those people who do understand the message and understand, that we give out valid criticism because we care about pro wrestling. A lot of people may not, they come towards our platform and they don't like it because there's a lot of criticism. Oh, let's go to somewhere else who's going to just, freaking think it's all freaking cookies, rainbows, and sunshine.
JUSM's the greatest title run I've ever seen.
Right. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, no, you're not.
Maybe it is for you, and God bless you. Okay.
Right.
Wrestling's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just, but again, once again, to everybody, just thank you for the support, for people that hear our message and to hit that follow button and understand that we come from a good place, and it's been that way for 2 years, and that's not going to stop. Whether we do shows together, I do solo shows, and Brian, the way you've done solo shows in the past as well. It's never going to fucking change, man. I'm grateful for this platform. I love pro wrestling. And again, to a degree, WWE has been a big part of my wrestling fandom. And that's why I stay hopeful that maybe there is a light at the end of the tunnel, that things can get better. And at least for you guys that listen to this, it's well worth sticking around to the end, because I could have honestly, Brian, for many times, I could have just said, fuck it. Like, it's such a drag talking about these shows, right? Listen, I try to entertain, and I try to be amplified and do funny fucking edits, right, on our platform, right, and make things entertaining for all of you guys listening and watching. But a lot of it, guys, is also me truthfully being honest with all of you guys when we are just very disappointed of how the WWE product is. And we're very grateful for, again, companies like AEW, to where it looks like they are turning a corner to a degree.
100%.
And the fact that we've had to turn to sports and talk a lot of sports discussions in our Sports Corner edition, which you guys will see in the near future. Again, new upcoming episodes coming up shortly in the next several days and weeks. So just, again, long story short, just want to thank everybody listening, watching, for all of our episodes, all of our seasons, as we're on season number 8. It's insane how we've gotten to this point, but here we are. But that will do it for today's episode, everybody. This is another Monday Night Raw review for June 23rd, 2025. Again, our next episode is when I will go solo, but I will have a very special guest that will be joining me to talk Night of Champions. It will be coming out probably sometime for you guys, probably Monday morning throughout the rest of the week coming into next week. And then it'll be a very busy, jam-packed of wrestling coming up. With, again, AEW All In, with frickin' Saturday Night's Main Event and Great American Bash, WWE Evolution. So there's going to be lots to talk about. Definitely we'll be bringing in a lot of special guests to come onto the platform. Some familiar faces, some new faces that are in the works. So make sure you guys stay tuned for it. Again, you see the banner down below. Make sure you continue to follow us on Instagram and on TikTok. That is ruthless_talk. Again, want to thank everybody. We are, I want to say, 4 followers away from 2,800 followers on TikTok. Man. So again, somebody's got to know 4 fucking people. So if you do know them, follow Ruthless Talk. Again, you see the banner down below on TikTok and on Instagram, same handle as TikTok as well. Again, if you're watching this on YouTube, shout out to everybody that watches this on YouTube. Again, make sure you get us to 400 subscribers on our YouTube channel. Make sure you also hit that notification bell, so that way you don't miss a single episode that is published out to the platform. Brian, any final thoughts before we end the show?
No, man, just peace out. Much love to y'all, and I'll see y'all down the road.
Yes, sir. That is going to do it for today's episode, everybody. My name is James Porcelli.
I'm Brian Thomas.
Until next time, there will be a next time. Your boys are signing off. Thanks, salute.
Peace out.
And take care, everybody. Top guys, we are out.